compact and on budget, make your move with Jobbers Moving and Storage. Jobbers can help you with every aspect of your move. With our efficient step-by-step approach to move management, we can tailor a plan to suit your needs and schedule. With locations in Bismarck, Fargo, Minot, and Aberdeen, Jobbers Moving and Storage is your choice. Visit jobberswarehouse.com. It's Jobbers Moving and Storage.
On the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair.
Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with the hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7. Pressure. Points. Yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here.
That's the spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
At Schatz Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak. Or can you? Schatz Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
But Simon, what about mold? Agent Marlon Old. He holds the world record for fastest mold remediation.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
When it comes to your car, you need someone you can trust. Someone who cares about your safety, your budget, and your peace of mind. At Trusted Tire and Auto, trust is more than just a word. It's at the heart of everything we do. We're a local business, owned and operated by people who live and work in this community. And we believe that by building relationships based on trust and care, we can make our community a better place to live and drive. Trusted Tire and Auto, where trust, care, and community meet on the road.
Well, we shock you right into the 2023 North Dakota high school football season. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Schmeeker Field here in Bismarck, North Dakota, home to the St. Mary's Saints. Tonight they take on the Magi from Minot High in the opening game of the AA season for North Dakota high school football. Good evening, football fans. I'm Nick Holbert alongside of the former University of North Dakota Fighting Sioux. In the years of 1985 to 1989, Mr. Chuck Claremont, an honor and a privilege to call football with you, my friend. How are you? Are you ready for the kickoff? I know that many people around the state have this pegged as their favorite day of the year.
I'm excited. It seems like just yesterday we're sitting in Fargo in your hotel room about 4 in the morning talking about after the Dakota Bowl. And all of a sudden blink and we're here at middle of Schmeeker Field ready to get going with Minot and St. Mary's and, you know, gorgeous weather and excited for another good season. Hopefully we have another quality season like we did last year.
Yeah, it certainly was a lot of fun last year. For the Magi, it was a season that was a little bit better than the year before. For St. Mary's, it was quite an opposite tale of the tape after they had to shift up into AA football from their time of dominance in single A ranks. Do we see the Saints starting to climb a bit more? They certainly have a lot of changes coming here for 2023.
A lot of changes. Obviously, it's the Toby Schweitzer era. You talk about St. Mary's, and you can't talk about them without talking about their longtime head coach, Dan Schmeeker. You know when you retire and you got a field named after you, you've been around a long time. 45 years for Dan Schmeeker that he was here at St. Mary's. He was the epitome at St. Mary's. He was coaching when I was playing, and I loved him back then. I know this is going to be hard for him, but Toby Schweitzer, what a great guy to step in, as Toby Schweitzer was on the field for 187 of those 295 wins for Coach Schmeeker, and he's a great guy to step in. He's excited. I was down on the field, and Toby doesn't get, he didn't get too pumped. He's pretty even keel. Anybody who knows Toby, but you could tell he was genuinely, this is pretty cool. And so from the St. Mary's perspective, a lot of changes, new offensive coordinator, all new offense, not one kid back from last year on the offensive side of the ball. So it's going to be a lot of new things for St. Mary's, but I think the people that are a part of it are excited. Not because Dan retired, but sometimes change, it's just exciting for a program, and I think the St. Mary's program is just that.
When you look at this long-time rivalry between St. Mary's and Minot High School over the last decade and some, Minot High really has had the dominance when you look back to it, but keep in mind they didn't play their first game until 2008 since 2008 after that big break after St. Mary's shifts back up. When new rivalries like this are rejuvenated like that from year to year, is there any factors that play into that? I know it's new kids each and every year, but this one never seemed to be the one that Minot High would be looking forward to, for example, like they would be a Bismarck High, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think that was it, although St. Mary's had their numbers. If you take a look at it, Minot's won the last 13 meetings. They're leading the series 21-16, but before this run of 13, St. Mary's had their number. And so it's a St. Mary's team that's had, you look back at the history of St. Mary's, lots of state titles, lots of great quality football. And the Saints, they were one of the top programs in that division. I guess it was A and B, at that point in time, just two divisions. But I don't think Minot looked at them probably as one of that huge rivalry. I don't feel that. You were from, I know, in the Minot area, and I don't know if you felt that. I know we felt our rivalry when I was playing in '85. Minot was always really good. So Minot definitely was one of those teams we look to every year as saying, hey, we got to get by Minot if we want to get to the state championship.
With that pedigree of what St. Mary's has, I know that this community at the same time, they have that expectation of winning. And no matter if Minot High has won the last 13 meetings or not, I think that anyone in blue and white here tonight probably has the expectation. How do these kids and how do the new coach deal with that expectation, Chuck, after winning so many state titles at that single A level, having such dominance, and then having what we just talked about, where a rival like Minot High might come in and say, well, we can maybe take them a little lighter than we want to here tonight. Obviously not the case if you're Chauncey Hendershot's team, but how do you deal with those expectations?
If you're St. Mary's, obviously Coach Schweitzer always has high expectations. He is a competitor. He might be even keeled, but you look back to Toby's history, and I know Toby very well, graduated in 1985, same year as him. He was at St. Mary's. I was at Bismarck High. We had a ton of rivalries. This is a guy's in the Hall of Fame at the University of Mary, so there's nothing but competition in his mind. So he's coming out to these games expecting to win. With a whole new group of kids, what's the realistic expectation? I'm not sure. But I know I talked to one of the parents of the kids, and they said, hey, we feel that the kids feel like they had a good pre-fall, and as long as our depth isn't in question, because that's one of the keys to me is the St. Mary's depth. I mean, they only have a school of 385 kids. Minot's got 2,300. So you think of the people you get to pick from. Depth could be the question. So St. Mary's, can they have enough kids on the field today to be able to, withstand a Minot team that's going to have 2 deep and 3 deep and whatever, a lot of positions. So St. Mary's, yes, they're feeling like they're gonna come out and win. I think from maybe our perspective, what's the realistic chance? Minot's got to be favored by a couple touchdowns in my mind.
When you talk about the Magi, there's a couple kids that really pop off the paper, and that would be Logan Conklin. Man, is he a man, to say the least. And also Ruziska. Those two right there are two special kids that are all-state caliber. How much does Minot High have to lean on these guys, do you think, in this season?
Well, they'll have to. I mean, ultimately, you got a new quarterback. The key, though, is he's a senior. So Lucas Beater, yes, he's stepping in as a new quarterback, but yet he's a senior. He's been around. He only threw 6 passes last year, but ultimately he was there. He was backing up Sparrow last year. And so ultimately I think here's a guy, he was running the JV. He had a lot of reps from that perspective. So I think he probably feels as a senior that this is my time. And so to me, that's one of the keys how Lucas Beater is going to how Lucas Beater is going to do today. But ultimately, when you got an all-stater in Logan Conklin, not even on offense, he's an all-stater on defense, but yet he had almost 800 yards and 30 catches last year and 7 touchdowns. And you got an all-stater in Tyson Ruziska, great athlete, baseball, track, you name it, just a great kid. You start with those two kids. When you can hand off or throw to them, you got a lot of confidence if you're Chauncey Hendershot and Lucas Beater as a senior stepping into that position.
Without question. Let's take a look at how the state media thinks that these teams are going to stack up. Let's start here with Shanley, Cheyenne, Mandan, Century, and Davies. The top 5 according to the media. Minot receiving some votes. Bismarck Legacy in action tonight against Cheyenne. We get to see where they shake up on the big slate of things. And also West Fargo, the Packers, receiving some votes as well. Any big surprise here in your mind, Chuck? The poll?
I mean, my expectation is that Minot would have got some votes. I thought with some of the kids they have back and surely some of those key positions and from a defensive perspective that they would be a team that would be on that poll. I voted for them. The votes, one of them was for me. But ultimately, Shanley, yes, they are the key team coming back without question. They won the state championship last year, got a ton of kids back, some great skilled positions. And you know what Coach Mattern does with quarterbacks, right? Yeah, the best quarterback, the best player in the state of North Dakota moved on from Shanley, but the kid that they brought in that's coming in as a senior behind him is supposed to be really, really good. So I think that's Shanley clearly is that team that's the team to beat this year. And these two teams know Shanley. They ended their year last year against Shanley. Minot lost in the quarterfinals, I think 42-14. And St. Mary's, let's just say at some point they're going to want a redo against Shanley. They lost 70-14 the last game of the year. So that's some point in time Toby Schweitzer is going to hope to redeem that. When it happens, we don't know. Probably not this year, but some point in time.
The Holy War will be certainly a war, won't it?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
would have to think. More of our pregame show on its way. Tonight it's brought to you by our friends at the Valvoline Instant Oil Change in Minot and Bismarck. Listen to this, Chuck. Your time matters to you, especially during your work week. 15 minutes or less, you can get your oil changed at the Valvoline Instant Oil Change. 5 locations in Minot and Bismarck. That's our choice for a family. We're busy, and it takes no time at all when you sit there right in your car. It's a drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change in Minot and Bismarck. More of the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. When we come back, we'll meet the starting lineups, and we'll look at the keys to the matchup for the Magi and the Saints, who open up the 2023 North Dakota high school football season.
Simon, what about mold? Agent Marlon Old. He holds the world record for fastest mold remediation.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
When it comes to your car, you need someone you can trust. Someone who cares about your safety, your budget, and your peace of mind. At Trusted Tire and Auto, trust is more than just a word. It's at the heart of everything we do. We're a local business, owned and operated by people who live and work in this community. And we believe that by building relationships based on trust and care, we can make our community a better place to live and drive. Trusted Tire and Auto, where trust, care, and community meet on the road.
Something special about the school band. Something special about Friday Night Lights as well, as we get geared up and ready for the opening matchup of the AA season for the St. Mary's Saints and the Magi from Minot High. Welcome back into our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show alongside of former University of North Dakota Fighting Sioux Chuck Claremont. I'm Nick Holberg on the call. It's been a while for you, but how often do you go back to those memories of your time playing for the Fighting Sioux back in the day?
Got a lot of friends I played with and that I still keep in touch with, so even though it's been a long time ago, you still relive those memories some evenings when you're having a beverage somewhere, with some of your old buddies. And it's a lot of great memories. And the biggest memories to me are the friends that I've met in football and college that are still friends for me today. That's the most special part of playing college athletes, is the relationships you build for the rest of your life.
without question. Well, some of those same relationships built in high school ball as well, and tonight it's the Magi looking to get back to their winning ways, but also get past that quarterfinal round of the state playoffs for the first time since 2017. For St. Mary's, well, they're a team that was a juggernaut inside of single A football. They moved up to double A. Didn't go as well for them last year at 3-6 overall. Tonight they match up with each other here at Schmeeker Field on a beautiful Friday night for high school football. Haven't we been blessed this entire summer, Chuck?
You know, the wind, I live up in Hawktree, and last year was like, oh my goodness, it was so windy. You couldn't have an umbrella if you had one in your backyard, and this year it's been really, really nice and really pleasant, and so I hope that doesn't mean we're going to have a bad winter and a bad fall. Cross our fingers, right? I don't know what the Farmer's Almanac says, but hopefully they say that we're going to take care of you this year, because last year's winter was not very good.
I'm writing in my journal tonight that, Chuck, if it's a bad winter, I'm going back to you and I'm going to say, Chuck, it was on the 25th of August that you said it and you jinxed us, my friend. I hope that isn't the case.
No doubt.
Well, it's time to salute our country with the playing of our nation's national anthem here tonight. St. Mary's High School Band is in attendance. They will perform our nation's national anthem. As always, we wouldn't be here without those military veterans and active service men and women. If you're watching here tonight, we sure appreciate you. God bless you on behalf of everybody at the PSP Network. Let's send it to the in-game PA for the official introduction of tonight's national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
By your actions, please help us make good sportsmanship a priority for tonight's game. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please stand as we are led in prayer by St. Mary Central High School Chaplain, Father Jacob Magnuson.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, as we come together this evening, we ask you to bless these athletes, keep them safe from injury and harm, instill in them respect for each other, and reward them for their perseverance. We ask this through the intercession of Mary, the Mother of God, and the patroness of our school, as we pray together, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Mary, Queen of Victory, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as we are about to salute the flag in our great nation. At this time, we ask that you remove any headgear, place your hand over your heart, and stand at attention as the St. Mary Central High School Pep Band, under the direction of Mrs. Ann Chambers, plays our national anthem.
God bless our servicemen and women. God bless our veterans. God bless America. Beautiful rendition of our nation's national anthem here tonight, courtesy of the St. Mary's High School Band. Something special about that live performance as well, isn't there?
St. Mary's has always been known for their band, too. I can remember back in the basketball days where the drum corps and everything else were always getting after it. So it's a great way to get things kick-started for the Saints and this band. And I got a question. Did you crawl up on the roof to put a camera up there?
You should have seen me get up there. I went over to set up Legacy tonight to Cheyenne as well. That press box is another 30 feet taller or something like that.
Right.
I told TD that when I was crawling back down, on the way up it didn't feel that bad because you're coming up from inside the press box.
Sure.
Well, on the way down over there, I walked over towards the rail and looked over, and I froze like there was no rail there, Chuck. It was unbelievable.
Good effort.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm sure you had all your safety gear on and you were doing everything safe.
I was sweating bullets to begin with, but that added just a little extra element to it. Here we are at our pregame show tonight, brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. 5 locations, Minot and Bismarck. 15 minutes or less, they get the oil change done for you. Your time's valuable. Stop in to Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Chuck, do you have our starting lineups here tonight? What can we expect, starting with the St. Mary's offense?
All right, Saints offense goes this way. At the left tight end, or at the tight end, will be Easton Heinert, 6'1", 190, and a senior. Ethan Zeke will be the left tackle. He's a senior. The left guard will be Tevin Freed. He's 6 foot 195 and a senior. The center is Pablo Schmitz. He's a senior. That right guard is Jackson Barth, just a sophomore at 200 pounds. The right tackle is also a sophomore, Roman Barnes. He's 6'5 and 240. Then you got a trio of wide receivers this year. Nick Remick's a senior. Hank Berry is a senior, and Conrad Culber. So 3 seniors for the Saints in the wide receiver spot. And then the quarterback, Sam Fedorchik, the basketball guy. Dude played some basketball. His brother Nate played last year for the Saints. He'll be the quarterback. And Cam Noslin, a senior tailback. At 190 or 160 pounds, he's got some wheels. He will be the tailback for the Saints offense. For the Minot Magicians defense, they go to a 4-3 this year. Last year a 3-4. Switch to a 4-3. Lennon, Bedell, these guys are some big dudes. I was down in the field. Size differential. Minot's got definitely the size advantage. Bedell at an end. DJ Jones, a senior, played last year at nose guard. Great wrestler. He's a defensive lineman along with Dylan Hubers, a junior at 6'4 and 240. Derek Arvet, he's a senior, the right defensive end. The linebacker core is a good one. An all-stater, Michael George, 190 pound and a senior. He's second-team all-state last year. Griffin Broderick, he's a middle linebacker. And then Brady Larson's the other outside linebacker at 5'9", 192. The corners, Anthony Brown, he's a dude back from last year, great track athlete, jumper. He'll be taking on a lot of responsibility for the best wide receiver on the Saints side. Talon Junt, a senior cornerback, and then the safeties, both good ones. Logan Conklin returning first-team All-Stater. He's a strong safety. Then Tyson Rosiska. Hey, they're not resting your dudes. If you're a dude and you can play both ways, for Minot, I love it. You're playing both ways. So Rosiska's the free safety. Conklin, the strong safety.
Without question. Well, it's going to be an intense atmosphere here tonight as there's a great crowd on hand at Schmeeker Field here in North Bismarck as we get set for the Saints and the Magi to kick off the 2023 AA football season. Again, Nick Holberg alongside of Chuck Claremont. Let's put a cap on our pregame show here tonight, brought to you again by our friends at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. 5 locations. Minot, Bismarck, 15 minutes or less. You just drive right on through. Take your lunch break, make it happen at Valvoline. Your time's important. Valvoline will help you with that cause. Tonight's ball game also brought to you in part by our friends at the UPS store. They deliver the opening kickoff tonight. The UPS store located on South Broadway in Minot. They're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 7. Saturdays, 8:30 to 3. The UPS store located in the Marketplace Foods Plaza for all your packing and shipping needs. Well, Chuck, is there one key tonight for the Saints if they want to come out on top in this ball game?
I just think the new guys are going to have to step up, right? I know you're new, but you know what? You better become a senior, or you better become not so new quick, because this Minot team, they finished the season on a fantastic scale last year. You can tell they've been in the weight room, so they got to come out hard, and this new offense has to be electric in order for St. Mary's to win.
For the Magi, is there one key in your mind here tonight?
Lucas Beater. What's he going to do? What's his quarterback going to, how's he going to come out and take over this Minot? Not do too much, right? Because you got 2 All-Staters potentially here in Rosiska and Logan Conklin. Ultimately, it's just, play within yourself. That's the way I look at it for Minot.
Punted high, boots the opening kick into the Saints end zone, so we'll have a touchback. We are officially underway here from Schmeeker Field in Bismarck. Thanks for joining us tonight here on our broadcast on the PSP Network. I personally couldn't be more jacked for North Dakota high school football season to be here, and we are officially underway now as the offense for the Saints comes out. We get our first look here in the 23 campaign of Sam Fedorchak, the 6-foot-tall, 160-pound senior quarterback. Saints will start at the 20-yard line as they work against a stingy Minot High defense that put up some stellar numbers a year ago. First pass of the ball game is going to see a holding flag, I do believe, on the play. Anthony Brown may be the culprit there, Chuck.
Yeah, he had a little man-to-man on the outside against Nick Remick, and a little pump fake and out and up, and great call initially by the new offensive coordinator, Bud Etzold. And it's hard to say Bud is new. he's old as dirt like me. And so talked to Bud forever downstairs. But, yeah, I loved it. A great call, and right away a 15-yard penalty to get things kicked off.
Ball's going to be marched up down to the 35-yard line as the Saints work with a first down and 10. 5 seconds into the opening quarter of football here tonight. St. Mary's in the traditional blues with the silver pants, Minot High and road whites here tonight with those maroon helmets on. From the shotgun now, Fedorchak works here. He's going to fall back to pass, fires across the middle. The defense was on there for the Magi, and the stop was made by the Magicians. Number 2 making the play, Tyson Ruziska. Thank you very much.
I have him listed at 26. What's up with that? He's not 26. That's my bad. I'm good now.
No worries, my friend.
All right. No wonder he looked familiar.
Fedorchak's going to carry this ball over the 40 all the way up to the 45-yard line. And a nice run there for the Saints. And the yardage markers will move again. It's a first down and 10 for St. Mary's on the carry there. Michael George made the stop, but it was Fedorchak on the keeper that gets the Saints marching early on in this ball game.
And they like to move. And one thing they're going to get in and out of the huddle. That's one of the things they're going to try to do is keep Minot off guard.
Fedorchak again from the shotgun. Falls back to pass. Fires across the middle. Oh, and right through the hands there. Minot High stout defense is Broderick right in front of that line of scrimmage. He got the arms up, but the big paws were in the way.
Yeah, one thing I talked to the coordinator, Bud Etzold, about is he said, hey, we're going to get it out quick. We recognize the Saints or the Minot's defensive line might have a little bit of experience over us. They're going to get after it, so we're going to try to get some quick hitters, some pop passes across the middle, and you've seen Saints already try it twice. Neither one of them been able to be completed, but that's definitely one of the things in Coach Etzold's bag of tricks right now.
Saints set it up here on the second down and 10. Ball's marked 47-yard line. Fedorchak fires it across, and that ball will fall incomplete. It was Naslin, the intended recipient to that pass, but just a little miscue. We'll see some of that early on in the season, I'd have to assume.
Yeah, and one of the things I'm watching already with Fedorchak, he kind of throws a little sidearm throw, and he tried to just kind of flick it as he was going backwards, and I'm sure as a quarterback coach would say, hey, get your feet set, right? I know we all want to be Brett Favre, number 5, and in terms of, or throwing off your back foot, but get yourself set. Find him. He had an open Naslin in the flat.
Third down and 10 situation now here for the Saints on the opening drive of the ball game. Fedorchak under pressure. He's going to roll out to the right side. Scampers his way over towards the sidelines. And the big hit came there. Michael George, that's somebody that came in like a freight train. Big hit over on the far sidelines. Going to bring up a fourth down now here for the Saints.
Right at the marker, so not a sack, but it's going to be a gain of 0. So the Saints, or the Minot defense, definitely firmed up here, and they have been just getting past the Saints front line right now, putting pressure on Fedorchak. He's basically running for his life.
Saints are forced to punt. We're going to see a timeout coming here. Chauncey Hendershot animated over on the Minot High sideline. We'll have our first Hub International Insurance timeout of the 2023 season. Hub International Insurance brings you the timeouts throughout our sporting season. Big thanks to Josh Cattell and Michael Borman at Hub International Insurance. Contact your local Hub agents, 355-3100 for your personal and business insurance needs. It's Hub International bringing you the timeout. So Minot High will burn one up early on here in the ballgame.
Minot getting bent a little bit, had that big penalty, and then a good run by Fedorchak, but that defense tightened up. I think they gave up There's one touchdown in the last 3 games last year, so it's a defense that kind of came back with a little bit of fire. 5 starting people back, and guys on all level. That's the key to me. A lineman, 2 linebackers, and then 2 D-backs.
Aiden Price back to punt it away, and he's going to tower one up. Fair catch is called for. Oh, that one's going to hit the arms there, and falling out of Kellen Burke. He's going to fall right on top of the football. Minot High will have field position around the 25-yard line. We'll see Nick Beater for the first time on offense coming here.
It's a 27-yard punt, and yeah, you're right. Just kind of came up and almost fumbled that away.
Well, we talk about that early on in the sports seasons for each and every sport. It doesn't matter which it is. The opening ball game, opening matchup, opening play in any sport on any given season. You're going to see some of those things that need to be ironed out early on. Coaches would tell you otherwise and say that they should be prepared and ready for matchups, especially inside the WDA. There's a handoff. That ball's going to be taken by Ruziska. Darts forward, gains at least a yard on the play, but the stop is going to be made by John Richter. Brings up a second down and 8 now here for the Magi. Nick Beater, the big man, back on the offensive side of the football. 6'1", 155-pounder, throws it out over towards the left side. Scampering forward, Caden Kraft's going to dart out ahead. Big-time first down for the Magi. And it was Eberle that comes up with the stop, as that was an excellent play for the Magicians that moves the chains for the first time on their offensive side of the ball here tonight.
Caden Kraft, and he is a good one, a great athlete, all-state baseball player. Just a quick pass to him, and he did the rest.
Nick Beater works from the shotgun again, 2 on the right side. As the Magi work with a first down and 10, approaching midfield. Handoff here. Ruziska's forward. He's going to get all the way up to the 49-yard line. Tackled by a swarm of Saints there as Ruziska puts the motor and the foot feed down to the floor, and you see what kind of talent he has, breaking free just a bit.
Well, he's going to get the ball a lot tonight. I would be shocked if he doesn't have 25 carries to get things going. This guy's an absolute load at 6 foot 165. He's fast, he's strong, he's big, he does it all.
Motion man, here is Burke. They hand off to him. Burke's going to break free, cuts it back to the inside over the 50-yard line, all the way up for a first down for the Magicians, and with 9:44 to play here in the first half on the BNC National Bank scoreboard, it's scoreless, but the Magi are on the move.
And they're already showing, establishing that line of scrimmage, Nick. That's one thing that Minot, they're big up front. I mean, 295, 220, 215, 240, they're big. And St. Mary's has 2 guys up front at 100, basically 190 and 200 pounds.
Motion man was Conklin. They go to Ruziska. He'll break freeze over the 30, down to the 20, 15, 10, 5 touchdown. Oh, Ruziska took it to the house from midfield, and the Magi strike for first blood tonight.
Just a simple handoff over that left side, and Raja Fulton, Derek Aravet, and Joby Reisted just completely opened up a huge hole 46 yards later. Not sure that Ruziska even got touched. He showed that speed to the outside and then danced into the end zone for a 46-yard touchdown run.
Well, the Magi strike for first blood. It's 6-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. And Ruziska puts the first points on the board. And the point after, as the Magi are on the board, 7-0. They lead on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Off and rolling here in the capital city tonight for the visiting Magi. Tyson Ruziska takes it to the house for the Magi. And Minot High leads 7-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. BNC.bank Locations throughout North Dakota, Minnesota, and Arizona. BNC National Bank provides you with banking and wealth management services for your business and family. Visit BNC online today at bnc.bank. Well, the Saints come back to offense now, led by Fedorchak. Important drive, I would have to assume, here for the Saints in the early portion of the season. You don't want to use all the cliches too early in the broadcast here tonight, Chuck, but I really do feel that way for St. Mary's, a team that looks to see if they can climb through the ranks of AA football here this year. Would you have that same opinion? You've played a lot more football than I have, my friend.
Well, exactly. And, there's still some people upset that St. Mary's at 385 kids are even playing in this level right now that but it's can't look back, right? All you can do now is look forward.
Saints offense goes to work. The handoff is going to be taken here, and a tackle for a loss on the play as Aiden Price got eaten up in a quick hurry. Landon Bedell, the big man, at 6'4". Speaking of freight trains, he came in hot on that play.
Yeah, Aiden Price had nowhere to go on that one at all. As he tried to bounce it to the outside, but he went outside into nobody.
3-yard loss on the play. He's going to bring up. Well, it was more than a 3-yard loss, Chuck, on that play. It's a second down at 17.
Yeah, 7-yard loss.
Make it 7 instead, as it's the Saints that work from deep inside their own territory. Fedorchak under heat again, fires it out to the near sideline. Nobody there, so
somebody must have had a bad route as he was rolling hard to the outside, looking for possibly Aiden Price doing an out pattern, but there was nobody there, so smartly Fedorchak just threw it out of bounds. Maybe since he was out of the pocket, there's no grounding. Fedorchak right now 0 of 4 in the quarterback spot. He does have 12 yards rushing.
He'll bring the Saints back up to the line of scrimmage here as he works from the shotgun again. Sun continues to set here on a beautiful fall night in North Dakota. We're going to have a timeout coming here for St. Mary's. They're going to use their first timeout here in the ballgame. Minot High leading 7-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Something coach didn't like, and I'm sure coordinator is up top, Bud Etzel, and he said, okay, somebody was in motion the wrong way and said, no, let's stop that, let's start over again.
When you go to the drawing book that way and the playbook and change everything that has been in place for so long, when you bring in a new offense or a new defense, what kind of headaches is that beyond just the surface level of, obviously there's going to be some growing pains with that?
Well, you have grammar, nomenclature. Hey, what's the call? I was talking to one of the St. Mary's coaches, and he said, hey, it's a lot longer than it was before, right? It's not just this off tackle. Where's the tight end? What's the motion? What's going on? So it's a lot different in terms of the call. So something that you may have got used to last year. I guess that's the good part, that you got a lot of new kids in terms of starting this year. So maybe from that standpoint, it might not be as bad as we might think.
After the Hub International Insurance timeout, Fedorchak rolls to his right. He's got traffic all over top of him. The heat is there, and the QB is sacked. In with the stop, the All-Stater Michael George comes in and levels his first sack of the season.
Yeah, loss of 5 in the play and just nowhere to go. He rolled out to his right, and I didn't even see a receiver in the route tree on that right side. Maybe he was just improvising because Minot blitzed 2 linebackers on the outside, and Fedorchak had no time whatsoever. So D coordinator for Minot right now as they're pulling out the stops.
Forced to punt here deep inside their own territory from their own end zone. Comes out to Burke right at the 40-yard line. Fair catch is called. And the Magi go back to work on the offense with excellent field position here. Their second possession of the football here in the ballgame.
32-yard punt there, no return. St. Mary's on that play, a loss of 12 overall. This Minot defense, you can tell, they're tough.
A lot of experience A lot of talent, a lot of football brain back there too, I think, is one of the big things. That X factor that we talked about before the game tonight off the air, Chuck, of what a guy like Ruziska brings to the table. Obviously he's an athlete, but he understands the game so well, and so many of these players that sometimes go unmentioned are the same exact way. Ball's going to be carried forward here by the Magi, and the carry was there from number 34 making the play was Broderick.
He's a big kid, 6 foot, 200-pound junior. Got to give it to the fullback. He's been blocking nicely early on, so right up the middle. I see Ruziska's not even in the game right now.
Minot High spreads it out with a wide receiver on each side. Marked inside the 40-yard line, falling back to pass. Beater across the middle. Oh, that one's going to be broken up. It went into the hands and out. Nice play by McHugh that came up, and Hank Berry was in on it as well.
Couldn't see who the guy was. I think it was Heston Fall, the tight end, who was running just a little seam route. Got an inside release, went right up the seam, and the ball could have been picked off, as you mentioned. Bennett McHugh was underneath it. Hank Berry was over the top, but McHugh just tipped it away, so good play underneath by that linebacker, McHugh.
Well, the Magi work with a third down situation now as you hear the Metallica come on at Schmeeker Field. The Saints fans come to volume as well. Burke gets the handoff. Oh, he breaks free. He's up over the 30-yard line for a first down as he's got lightning quick speed, and Kellen Burke moves the chains for the Magicians here with 7:03 to play in our first quarter. Minot High up by a score 7-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Such quick feet, you can tell on that one too, man. He's just, like you said, lightning, low to the ground. Kellen Burke's, he's only 5'10", but that quick feet is causing trouble by the St. Mary Saints.
Beater again from the shotgun on the high snap, falls back, fires it forward. This one caught in the flat here, and forward on the carry for the Magi after the completed pass was Noah Bledsoe, but he was wrapped up in a nice play coming from the Saints. Making the stop was number 9, Aiden Price. We've heard that name a couple times already here tonight in the secondary.
Smart play by quarterback Beater as it was a blitz for the Saints. The check down was to Bledsoe, and it's a short gain in the play, but it wasn't a sack, more importantly.
Well, the Magi set it up on a second down. Ball marked at the 26-yard line. Fake the handoff. Now they're going to go back to the big man again. Broderick on the carry. He's going to bust free over the 10-yard line, deep inside the Serpro red zone as Griffin Broderick, 6-foot-tall junior, shows what kind of muscle he's got. Charles Richter was the one that finally stopped him as the Magi are now inside the Serpro red zone for the first time here tonight.
Well, Broderick's a man. I mean, he is just carrying guys. He's got a sure-handed tackler and a strong safety, Chuck Richter, also a wrestler, and he could not bring him down. He was just dragging him along.
Serpro with 24/7 emergency service and trained technicians. Locations in Minot and Bismarck. There's 2 flags on the field on the same play here, Chuck.
Last year, Broderick had 226 yards and 3 touchdowns, so he's a guy that he's got some experience. Got a motion penalty on the play, so 5 yards, it'll go backwards. Second penalty for Minot High. You do not want penalties inside the 10, especially, jumping off sides of those motion penalties. You don't want them anywhere, but especially that's the way to kill your drive. It shouldn't be first and goal, I guess.
Beater falls back to pass, corner of the end zone, goes up for Conklin. Hello, Logan Conklin, first touchdown reception of the season. We talked about him and those D1 offers that are starting to trickle in just a bit. Well, more plays like that, and you're going to see the big man for the Magi have a preferred place to play after this season. He shows what kind of talent he's got on the second drive of the ball game for the Magi.
Well, Hank Berry couldn't have been in a better position. I mean, he had him inside position. The ball was just thrown up in a jump ball in the corner. And just the strength and athletic ability of Conklin, he went up and got it. Great throw by Lucas Beater.
Extra point is up and good. The Magi lead 14-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. The Magicians score on their first 2 drives of the ball game here tonight. Ruziska and Conklin, the ones we talked about before this game got underway, are the ones that have the Magi in the driver's seat to this West Region AA matchup. North Dakota High School football here on the PSP Network.
University of Mary's athletic training staff for providing quality health care.
Minot High to boot the football away after they score their second touchdown of the ball game, deep all the way through the end zone. That will be a touchback, and the Saints will come back out on offense as they go to work here looking for some more yards in their last drive.
That drive started for Minot on the 40-yard line of the Saints after just a short punt and a great defensive stand. It went 5 plays and 40 yards. 2 minutes and 25 seconds for that touchdown. So Minot's rolling on both sides of the ball right now.
Well, the Saints will bring back the offense. Their last drive of the ball game, negative 12 yards, if I'm not mistaken, Chuck.
Yes, you are correct.
Fedorchak from the shotgun again. He'll go to work here. Fedorchak's going to run it forward over the 20-yard line. He's going to gain some yards on the play before he's swarmed up by a swarm of magicians, including DJ Jones.
One of the compliments that the quarterback Fedorchak got is, hey, he reminds me a lot of Shane Walt back in the era of 83, 84 for the Saints, where he was an all-stater, took him to the state championship where they ended up losing, but Shane Walt was athlete of the year back in the day, and he said, that's a good and bad. Shane made a lot of great plays. They just weren't always for the St. Mary's team. And so he said Fedorchak might be the same type of guy where he's super athletic, going to make some plays, but there's going to be some not so good plays too.
On the carry ahead forward, the ball is darted across the line of scrimmage there.
Number 20, David Vetter.
By number 20, Vetter on the carry.
Number 33, Brady Larson.
Brady Larson makes the stop. By the way, tonight's ball game brought to you in part by Minot State University. The best way to predict your future is to create it. With over 100 areas of study at Minot State, you'll earn the degree for the career you desire. It's Minot State University bringing you the ball game here tonight. Always important to start looking at those colleges wherever you may deem to continue your academic future. Minot State University, a great option in the Magic City. Fedorchak across the middle. Oh, that ball's going to be picked off by the Magi, and it's Ruziska that's going to have a touchdown and an interception now as he picked that ball off at the 30-yard line. And the Magicians go back to work on the offensive side of the ball here with 3:32 to play in the opening quarter, leading 14-0.
Well, they're just sitting on that now. The Saints, they know, hey, we're putting pressure on the outside. They're going to try to dump it off on those quick hitters in the middle, and Ruziska read that all the way from his free safety spot. He just stepped in and jumped in front of it. Interception and just a short return.
Nick Beater goes to work from the shotgun again. He's going to fire this one across. All the intended target was there, but the route might not have gone the way that they intended it to come through. I don't know what I'm trying to say, Chuck. You follow. I think Nick Beater's feeling the same thing I am right there. He went left and he should have went right.
Yeah, zigged instead of zagged, exactly. But Lucas Beater, he's standing back. Does it go Lucas or does it go by Luke? I've heard somebody mention Luke too to me. I don't know which one it is, but call him Luke or Lucas. Probably answers to both of them. But he looks pretty confident back there right now, Nick.
Ball's going to be handed off here to Ruziska. He's going to pick up just about 5 on the carry. That last pass was intended for Caden Kraft, by the way. John Richter's going to come up with the stop along with Remick, the cornerback here for the Saints. Luke Beater stepping into a position that certainly isn't easy, especially after watching Jaden Sparrow perform at a high level last year, so high that he was recruited by Minot State University to go on to play for the Beavers. There's going to be a flag coming here on the play.
Of course, you're pointing at Dylan Huber, the tackle, but I'm not so sure Saints didn't jump off sides. And they're going to say, no, it is the big right tackle, 6'4", 280. He is the one who stepped off sides. Well, my boys are traveling in from Perm tonight to be meeting me later on. My two buddies, Dave Johnson, Jeff Duffy, they're listening in. So they're saying, hey, you need to pick up the pace. You need to raise your game right now, Mr. Claremont. Nothing better than good friends, right?
I love the good friends like that. Beater's going to fall back to pass, fires it across. He's got Conklin at the 20. He'll break free. Conklin all the way down inside the 10. Another Serve Pro red zone visit here for Logan Conklin as he made a move after he caught that football, darted for the extra yards after the tackle, and the Magi are in prime scoring position again.
Where do you go? You go to your All-Stater, and he just so strong. He just kind of basically posted up on the Saints defense. He caught it, and they tried to pull him down, but way too strong for Remick. Just shook him off like a bug and then got another 10 yards after the catch. So 20-yard pickup for Conklin, 2 catches for 33 yards and a touch for him.
Serve Pro red zone is where the Magi find themselves again. 24/7 emergency service with trained technicians across to the near side. This time it's Ruziska that catches the football, then dances in for 6 more. And the Magi lead 20-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
How about that move? Get it to your athlete in space, put that right foot in the ground, and just cut back on the inside, and nobody was there. Then he busted back to the outside of the pylon, and he showed his track speed, again, untouched into the end zone. An interception and 2 touchdowns for Tyson Ruziska in the air and on the ground. He's looking for our sports clip MVP of the game, huh?
I think he's well on his way early in this ball game. He certainly has had some highlights. The Magi tack on another with the extra point. They lead 21-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. 2:21 left in this first quarter. All Magi to start the 23 North Dakota high school football season.
We look forward to serving you here at your local community bank.
This ball game on the PSP Network tonight brought to you by our friends at Northern Plains Heating and Air. 25 years of experience as your heating and air experts, the factory authorized dealer for AeroSeal. There's no other choice to seal your heating and air game than Northern Plains Heating and Air. Find them online, northern-plains.com. Well, the Magi trying to seal it early on here tonight. They lead 21-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard as they'll boot this one deep into the end zone again. We'll have the touchback on the play. Is there anything right now that St. Mary's can do after we see Minot High? They rush the ball down the field after a defensive stop, but really the Magi have dominated from the word go here tonight.
Yeah, and one thing, talking to Bud Etzel, is he said, the difference, Bud Etzel coached college football forever, as we talked about. He said the difficulty is I basically get these kids for one day during the week, because the quarterbacks are both playing defense. So offense is on Tuesday, defense is on Wednesday, Thursday's a walkthrough, the game's Friday already. So it's like the time spent with these kids, it's not the same amount of time that he's used to, and that's a difficult part where everything is so condensed in high school.
Ball's going to be handed off and right to the line of scrimmage, and down they go as the Magi make the stop again.
Number 12, Charles Richter. He's brought down by number 34.
Richter was on the carry.
Well, so Richter's in at quarterback now for Fedorchak.
Thank you.
And he a little faked the handoff, tried to get right into the mix, right? He's like, all right, I'm going to get in, get hit on offense. Loss of 1. this Minot defense they are just impressive right now.
Broderick had the stop for the Magi. Off the handoff it comes, and another scrum that goes to just about the 18-yard line before the swarm of magicians fall on top of the ball carrier.
I mean, there's so many guys. That was better, but Minot is just tackling in bunches. They are getting the push so big up front right now. From the quarterback to the whoever, there's just no time at all. Minot has a timeout.
Magi will call the timeout with 90 seconds remaining here in the first. We'll take a break as well. The Magi lead 21-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Thanks for watching tonight on the PSP Network.
Stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair.
Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with the hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7. Pressure. Points. Yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here?
That's a spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
$21-0. Minot High's got the lead here tonight at Schmeeker Field in Bismarck, North Dakota. Nick Holberg alongside of Chuck Claremont on the call on a beautiful night here for high school football. Falling back to pass, firing it out across the middle. Big time play made there as that ball is bobbed all the way out over the 50-yard line. It's going to be caught by Aiden Price after falling back with Charles Richter, and Richter threaded the needle. Boy, did Richter pay the price, however, after he let go of that pass.
Yeah, he got hit hard, but great job staying in the pocket, getting hit, delivering a strike across the middle to Price, who was running a deep post pattern. The offensive line gave about just enough time right there, Nick.
Well, the Saints have some momentum now as they bring the ball all the way up to the 47-yard line as the final minute ticks down here in the first quarter. Ball's going to be handed off again. There will be a loss on this play as coming up with the stop for the Magicians. Big number 75 is Derek Harvett. Harvett, the 6'2", 210-pound senior, in on the stop for the Magi.
Loss of, 3 in the play? I did not see who ran that. Who was the guy that, let's see if it was a quarterback keeper or who they got. Actually, they got in as a running back right now, Nick, is right up here. I can't see him. James.
High snap comes back, and that ball's going to end up in the hands there of 33, James Marks, as you just mentioned. Backwards on the play again. That's going to do it for our first quarter of football here at Schmeeker Field. Well, the Magi come out like a bottle rocket here tonight. They lead 21-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Short break. We'll come back with quarter number 2. It's high school football here on the PSP Network.
All right, bring it up. Come on. Someone's got to call a play. All right, let's go. I right zoom, spider 2 Y banana. You don't like that one? Okay. I right 40 power? No. You don't want that one either? All right, go kickoff. Get out of here. Let's go.
First Western is your independent community bank with all the online conveniences you want and an experienced team you can count on.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
Time for our second quarter of football. It's brought to you by Jersey Mike Subs. Jersey Mike Subs is a sub above. Find them on North Broadway in the Magic City. I like the number 99. It's kind of like a hidden menu item on the Jersey Mike Subs menu. It's a Philly cheesesteak with jalapenos on it.
Hey now. I mean, I have a hot dog in my belly right now since 9 this morning, and you're talking about Philly cheesesteaks?
Well, just wait till we roll the shots crossroads commercial again as well. Falling back to pass. Richter rolls out. Oh, he's going to be sacked on the play. Ball's picked up. Taking off to the house. DJ Jones picks it up and takes it to the house for a score. And the Magi lead 27-0.
Ill-advised play for Charles Richter. He dropped back, and there was a jailbreak with Minot High guys getting after him. He just threw it back to the middle, hit DJ Jones, a defensive lineman, right in the chest. Old number 51, 5'8", 185, a little rumbling and stumbling 40 yards into the end zone. So you make a great play on a 28-yard completion, and you come back with that one that just, you're young, right? You just eat that one.
All Minot High early on here tonight, 27-0. They have a chance to make it 28 as Kellenberg is on to kick the point after. And Kellenberg remains perfect on the point after attempts here on opening night of 2A high school football. 28-0, Magi have the lead. It's North Dakota high school football here on the PSP Network.
Water. Boom. Agent Winston Otter. He's been called the human sponge.
At the Kramer Agency, we have the privilege of serving our community by helping businesses and individuals protect what matters most. That's why we're proud to be your locally owned independent insurance agency. As an independent insurance agency, we work with the industry's leading insurance companies and provide our clients a better experience and a better value. For auto, home, business, bonds, life, and health insurance, think the Kramer Agency. See us at our new location at 232 West Century.
Agency, your partner for life.
Well, the Minot High defense, 2 touchdowns of their own here in this ball game. They've come up big here tonight on the opening night, and now they'll kick off again here to St. Mary's with 11:48 remaining in our first half of football. Burke towers this one up all the way back inside the 10-yard line. He's got a good leg on him, doesn't he? This ball's going to be picked up here and carried ahead forward.
Vetter got it at the 4-yard line, and just great coverage, kick coverage by Minot. They're doing everything. Special teams, defense, offense. Chauncey Hendershot right now, he's liking this team big time. I like his line he used earlier. They talked about his team. He said, hey, we moved the dial last year. We're looking to take it to the next level this year. I thought that was a great comment. He's got a lot of confidence in his kids.
1980, the last time that the Magi won a state championship. Is that almost hard for you to believe, Chuck?
Is it really 1980?
It's been a long time for the Magi. I'm sure Shane Soltis is sitting in his living room right now saying that's when it was. Quarterback of the 1980 team.
Yeah, over Shanley, 30-7.
Last time the Magi won the big dance in the Dakota Bowl before it was even the Dakota Bowl. That ball sent out to the right side, and gathering it up there was number 14 for the Saints. That's Ruggles that made the play.
Yeah, they're going to get everybody in the game right now. You're going to get all kinds of guys trying to find somebody that's going to do something. Quick hitter to Ruggles. That looked like a sidearm. Looks like Fedorchuk's back. He is. So they might be switching back and forth quarterbacks to try to see who's the hot hand, if you want to call it that. Just a short gain on the play, but still 4 yards. It's positive, right?
Well, they'll take it at this point.
And it's the first completion for Fedorchuk.
Back at their own 20-yard line, Saints go to work. Fedorchuk's going to run it out over to his left side, and then he's swept up in a big hurry on the play. Broderick comes up and makes the stop.
Yeah, Griffin, is it Broderick or Broderick? I think it's Broderick, right? Broderick, man, he is a man among. This guy is taking up space. He's a space eater. He is meeting guys at the line of scrimmage and getting into the backfield. This one for another TFL tackle for loss back to the 17-yard line.
Well, the stats for the Magi defense in this first half, we'll have a full recap of them for you coming up at our halftime report here tonight. Chuck's running out of ink on the pen over here with how Minot High has been playing defensively here, but now the Saints are going to break free up over the middle as that ball is going to be thrown out and caught there by Ruggles again, and Ruggles moves the chains. Ruziska makes the stop.
Nice stop pattern right there. Good quick throw by Fedorchuk. Hit him right in the numbers, and Ruggles did what he was supposed to do. Turn up field, picks up 15 yards and a first down.
Well, the Saints, on that same token, after I say that, to keep in mind with what they did early on here in the ball game with some backwards yardages on a couple drives. Well, they've had some big plays as well. If they could negate those backwards stats with a couple more big ones, they would certainly help their cause here. They still trail 28-0 here in the first half. Rolling out Fedorchuk up over the 35. He's going to dance his way over to his own sideline, and Tyson Ruziska is there to push him out of bounds one more time.
Going to say stepped out to 37, so it's a good job by the quarterback recognizing, hey, nobody's open. I got a little bit of a spot in that right side. I'm going to turn and scramble, show my speed, pick up 5 yards. 6 carries for 11 yards now for Fedorchuk, 2 for 7, 19 yards, and the quarterback from the throwing. That's throwing, quarterback side, 2 for 7. It's just, man, you don't call games forever. We're rusty too. I'm rusty too, man. You've been talking all summer and stuff.
Well, I don't know. There's a pass out over the middle. You heard me. We were joking about it when we went to that last commercial break. You know, Chuck, he went up to the, you know what I'm saying. He was near the airport, but nowhere near it. You know, he should have went left and went right. Welcome back to football season. We're happy to be here without question.
Conrad Kalber, there was a pass to him. Did not look like he had wanted any part of that, as he had a defender. I couldn't tell if that was Junt or Larson. They were coming right at him, maybe Anthony Brown, but he got kind of alligator arms, and it wasn't too interested in going up and getting that one.
From the shotgun again. Saints work at their own 37-yard line. Fedorchuk back to pass. Big play up over midfield. That pass was intended for number 8, Kalber.
Missed him. You know, maybe it should have went out a little more instead of up too much, but that was a better possession for the Saints.
9:24 left here in our first half. Saints are forced to punt. A good punt here is going to take St. Mary's bounce. Ruziska's going to pick it up inside his own 15-yard line. Cuts over to the far sideline. Oh, look at Conklin with a big hit there. And Conklin's going to be flagged on that play as Ruziska is going to make his way up all the way to the 25-yard line. But that play is going to come back after the open field hit from Logan Conklin.
You can't peel back on somebody like that. That's one of the things I know we talked about beforehand. The officials are saying, hey, safety is a key for us, right? And we're not going to we got to do away with some of those hits where you're peeling back, you're hitting back against somebody. And there was enough flags out there. There was yellow all over. There was no doubt about that one.
Back in your time, though, Chuck, when you played back in the 80s, I mean, that was a green light all day long.
That was a good hit.
Without question.
And I'm not saying it's the wrong thing to change, because obviously the safety of the kids are utmost importance. Not that maybe that's why we're a little dingy. We've got a hit too many times, whether it was hockey, football, you and me, I don't know what.
Well, the changing at times, and like you mentioned, it's all right to make some of those transitions. Some of the purists of the game look at a play like that and say, well, there was nothing wrong. However, hit
him up high, right?
The times do change as this ball is going to be sent here up towards the 10-yard line. It was caught there by the Magicians, number 17, Kraft. Shut down on the play. I believe the stop came from number 25, possibly.
It's a quick hitter there. Picked up a couple yards.
Hunted high in the run again this time. Up over the 20-yard line. Now the 30, up to the 35. And it's Small that's into the ball game for the first time on his first touch. And he's got himself a big-time carry.
You weren't going with the Jadrian? Jadrian Small. 5'7", and he's small. He's at 5'7", 155, but man, what darting in and out and got to the outside. Hey, that's a professional right there. Don't need to know his first name. All I know is his last name's Small. Good enough, right?
Well, and speaking of Small, looking at this roster here on the table, I might need to get my eyes checked. Out to Kraft it goes over on the far side. He's going to break free. Up for a first down, or at least close to. It will be a first down for the Magi with 8:27 to play.
You know, I got to tell you, one thing I really like is how Lucas Beater is playing. He is really playing well. 7 for 8 already in this first half, 88 yards. I mean, they're running, they're passing, they're moving the chains. This offense is really clicking.
Beater's going to hand it off here. The ball's going to come down to number 4. That's Prestwich. He's going to break free up over the 50-yard line. And Prestwich comes up with the carry. The stop is made by Hank Berry, the outside linebacker.
Reverse, St. Mary, Minot's doing it all now. Getting St. Mary's flowing one way now and saying, all right, we're going to try to come a little misdirection. Come back from right to left with Prestwich.
Prestwich again, the motion man. They fake it there. They go down to Small. He's going to cut free over on the right side. Oh, he's powerbomb. Fumbles the football. It's going to be loose. Who's got it? Saints.
They're going to say he's on the ground. Well, he wasn't on the ground. He was in the air when he was dropping him. You know what I mean? I don't know if he got to the ground. Couldn't see who caught that. But
it was Jadrian Small, the 5
okay,
foot.
Small caught that. Okay.
5'7", 155-pounder. He was picked up and slammed big time. They're going to say Minot High gets the ball back here after the fumble that they thought they had. The Saints was
5 yards.
Whistled down on contact. That's going to be a penalty flag on the Saints.
I am a little bit behind. They shouldn't be moving this fast, this early in the year for those of us keeping score. It's these coaches. I mean, it is just in and out of the huddle.
Well, with a mix of different players on both sides, keep in mind.
Yeah, exactly.
2 on the right side, 1 on the left for the Magi. Beater falls back to pass, tosses downfield, had the open target there, just unable to hit Swiddle. Incomplete. Remick with excellent coverage there for the St. Mary Saints.
Man-to-man on that outside. Good throw by the quarterback. Threw it to the outside to Swiddle, but great coverage by the cornerback Remick that he was just on him like a postage stamp.
Brings up a second down at 10. Here for the Magi. They lead 28-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Run and gun is what you could call this first half of football here for Minot High, certainly.
One more touchdown, and it's a running clock the second half.
Handoff goes to the big man again for the Magi. Nice stop defensively is coming up was John Richter that slams the door.
On the stop for the Saints, number 63, Kevin.
Actually, a loss of 1 on that run by, I think it was Rosiska, correct? Oh, it was Broderick, thank you. And Broderick's a big dude. Is the all-state, or excuse me, the state wrestling champ at 152. Richter brought him down.
Third down and a long 11 here for the Magi. Beater falls back to pass. Perfect spiral downfield. Went up to Conklin, and Conklin had that one knocked out of his hands. Nice play there from Fedorchak in that safety position. Went up against one of the state's top receivers, and the defensive play was made by Fedorchak.
We talked about that before the game, that Fedorchak's going to have a lot of man-to-man coverage on Logan Conklin, and he showed why he is up to the task from the defensive perspective for Fedorchak. He doesn't come off the field, and how many times do we see quarterbacks not playing defense in this day and age? It happens a lot.
Well, Conklin's going to go back to punt it away here for the Magi as he sets up at his own 40. End over end kick falls inside the 10-yard line, rolls all the way down almost to the 5. Excellent punt there from Conklin as the Magi pinned the Saints back in their own territory. 5:50 left here in the first half. Minot High leading 28-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
First punt of the game, 37 yards. Was he a lefty? Was that a left foot kick?
It certainly was.
What the heck? One of the best athletes in the state, Logan Conklin. You know the family well. They talk about some opportunities for him potentially. Going on, these people already talking to him for some scholarship offers potentially.
Fun time in a youngster's career, I'd have to think, once those offers start to roll in. Stressful time too, I would assume.
Yeah. But exciting. That's, nowadays it's such a big deal. It's
Fedorchak goes out across the middle. He connects there with Connor Schatz. Schatz is going to have a handful on the gain.
Connor Schatz, he was one of these guys who went out. Didn't go out last year for football. BJ Etzel, the son of Bud Etzel, talked him to coming out. And Bud Etzel said, hey, we got some good athletes at the tight end spot. Heinert, Schatz, going to do a lot of pop passes.
Fedorchak works again from inside his own 20. Fires it out. Nice defensive play there. Jumping up for the Magicians was number 75 and getting the big paws in the way. Aravet came up, the 6'2", 210-pound senior.
Playing both ways. Like to see that from a lineman. Playing that defensive end spot. He's kind of read the quarterback's eyes when he goes up to throw. You get those big paws up. Bring up a big 3rd down and 2 as you're pinned back.
Wind from the north blowing to the south here tonight. I would just call it a breezy night here in Bismarck as the sun continues to set. To the west behind us, we've got a timeout coming.
Timeout, St. Mary's.
St. Mary's will call a Hub International Insurance timeout. Hub International with Michael Mormon and Josh Cattell can help you with all your business and personal insurance needs. Contact them in Bismarck at 355-2100. It's Hub International Insurance. They bring you this time up. We'll take a step aside. We'll come back to Schmeeker Field. 5:10 remains in the opening half. 28-0. Magi have the lead.
Estfold is an experienced team of architects and civil engineers committed to achieving the best possible solution for every project. Over the past 20 years, our team has been trusted with jobs big and small throughout the state, from major flood protection projects to county roads, classroom walls, and community spaces. We will be your partner through the initial design to final construction. Trust the Ackerman Estfold team with your next project.
Tonight's ball game brought to you by our friends at Northern Plains Heating and Air. Northern Plains Heating and Air, where you can seal your heating and air game. That ball's going to be thrown out over to the right side. The defensive play jumping at it was number 14 for the Magi, Henderson. And Caden Henderson almost had an interception on the play.
Well, they had a guy open too. They had, I think it was Aiden Price open as a kind of little crossing pattern. Got Price open, but the ball just did not have the smoke on it that they needed. Just kind of hung out there, and Henderson recovered, was able to knock it down.
Conklin makes his way all the way back to the 50-yard line here for the Magi. The Saints are forced to punt to the 4th down and long. It's going to go to Conklin at the 45. He's going to turn the burners on over the 50. Has some room over the 45 to the 40. Lays the shoulder down. There's a flag on the play. Conklin out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
He wasn't running out of bounds. He wasn't one of those guys that was kind of on the tiptoe out of bounds, and I was kind of looking at the St. Mary's kid. I thought, be prepared. He's not just running out of bounds, and he lowered his shoulder, and St. Mary's guys took the brunt of it. But see where the flag's at the 40-yard line. They're kind of looking at like it's going to go backwards, so must have been a block in the back after a 41-yard punt by St. Mary's.
From the spot of the foul, 1st down.
Block in the back. So another big penalty, 15 yards. That's one thing that Minot has, 3 15-yard penalties. Got 4 penalties for 50 yards.
Be a topic of conversation for Chauncey Hendershot and his coaching staff, I'd have to assume, after this Friday night is over. Well, the shadows now on the football field are from the 20-yard lines and in. Right across midfield, the sun is pretty much set. Minot High sideline still getting blasted with that sun setting in the west here tonight. 4:51 on the clock as Beater sets up, hands it off to Ruziska. Pair of touchdowns here tonight. Ruziska breaks free. He's up over the 50. He's just so crafty, Chuck, the way he could turn and burn. Hank Berry was the line of defense that stopped him, but still a big gain of 6 on the play for Tyson Ruziska.
Just 5 carries for 59 yards, lined up in that left slot that time.
He'll get it again here. He brings it to his left. That time he's wrangled up. Excellent play coming from McHugh. And Bennett McHugh comes up. The linebacker hogtied him at the ankles and took Ruziska to the ground. Loss on the play brings up a 3rd down. It's 6 now for the Magi.
Boy, nice read by McHugh as he saw that going, hey, this looks very familiar, just a mirror image of the last play. And he was right there, trailing the play from behind, caught him and brought him down.
Well, we talked about it in our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show here tonight. Some of those keys for both sides of the matchup here tonight. Minot High has executed well. Here's Beater that rolls out. He's going to fire across. He connects with Kraft. That's a completed pass. It's going to bring up a 4th down in a real short situation here. That key to the game for you tonight in the pregame show was Luke Beater and how he would handle the pressure of the first varsity action and the start as the guy here tonight. And I think that question has been answered.
He's answered the bell.
They have the perfect timing here. Now the DJ's been on it here tonight between the Metallica and AC/DC. This time Beater under center. He's going to rush ahead. And Luke Beater barrels his way forward for another magician 1st down.
Not by much, but you didn't need it. Good job by Joby Reestead, the center, getting movement there. I love it when people listen to us and correct us. There's times when, hey, we get the wrong names. We're talking to kids, student managers, different people, and they think they know people's last names, but they might not. So Reestead, great job blocking, getting that 1st down for them.
Big thanks to the voice of the Magi, Eric Schaefer, for tuning in here tonight. Conklin on the left side. He's going to break free at the 40. Pushed out of bounds.
Penalty marker on the field.
There is another penalty marker on the play.
Behind the line of scrimmage, so see if it's another block. Got a block in the back potentially. As we talked about the penalties for Minot, it is going to be a holding, trying to run a wide receiver screen on the outside. And it's one of the things sometimes when you're blocking in open space like that as a receiver or as a guy on the outside, you're in front of God and everybody. When you reach out, and I mean, it's not like guys inside where you can grab a hold of jerseys. And hands were extended. They were on the shoulder pad, and the officials saw that.
1st down and a long 20 now for the Magi as they're back in their own territory. Luke Beater back to pass. Fires a bullet across the middle, connects with Kraft, and Kraft all the way back up inside the St. Mary's Saints 40 after Charles Richter put him down to the turf. But an excellent play and a nice fire there coming from Beater to Kraft to put Minot High right back to where they were just a moment ago.
Yeah, 15-yard pickup, and I like the patience of the quarterback. Waited till he came open in a window, then hit him.
Beater with patience again, fires it across. Oh, he's picked off on the play. Then the football's going to be fumbled. It will be St. Mary's ball after that ball's going to be picked up by number 8 for the Saints as Culver comes up and picks up his 1st interception of the season.
The ball a little bit underthrown. Great job of reading that by Culver. He stepped in front of it. Took a couple steps. He had it. He had the interception clear, and he dropped it. Minot fans might have thought differently, but from our vantage point, I thought he had it. Took 2 steps, clearly made a football move, and then lost it out of bounds. He was trying to tuck it away.
Yeah, no question about it from my vantage point with you here.
First mistake. We're bragging up Lucas Beater, and he throws an INT and hey, shut up, guys. Let me just do my job.
2:05 left here in the 1st half. Isn't that just the way it goes, Chuck? It seems like that's how it always is. Low snap, trouble with it. Fedorchak, nice recovery, however, then he's going to be plastered there by number 36, Landon Bedell for the Magi. The junior playing the end position, makes the stop, and it's a loss on the play, and a big one here for the Saints.
Not a way you want to start. You make this big play where you got 2 minutes to do something with it when you make an interception, and the first play is a fumbled snap, and you go backwards 6 yards. More than that. I'm sorry, all the way back to 24, so 8-yard loss.
Yeah, second down at 18 coming here for the Saints. Shotgun again here for Fedorchak. Another low snap. He's going to fire this one all the way out. That one bombed ahead. It was intended there for number 1 on the play.
Pass intended for number 1, Nick.
And that's Rebick. He was unable to reel it in. Too far out in front of him.
Good throw. I like the arm strength right there by Fedorchak, as he had a nice spiral, but just couldn't run underneath it. But he was double teamed. He had basically a bracket coverage on the inside and the outside by both Rosiska and by Logan Conklin.
How do you like that, Chuck? We've got the same game sheets here, set up in the way that you Bismarck guys call these games is fascinating. In the 25 plus years that you've done it, thanks for working with me here tonight on the PSP Network. I absolutely love it. Here's a little note to self. Instead of looking across the 4-foot table to see that small number 1, I could just use the sheet right in front of me, my friend. Is that what that's what the gesture was, I think. I was pointing down. I couldn't figure it out. Oh, that's my Gatorade, Chuck. There's a timeout on the play.
Hey, after the pneumonia you've had, I'm not going to drink your Gatorade.
Yeah, I don't need to worry about you taking a sip of that. I get sick more than, I don't even know what the analogy would be. It's unbelievable.
What's turning into a gorgeous night right now, too, is it's beautiful outside. The sun's setting. It's a great setting here at Schmeeker Field. Not so much if you're the Saints, as they trail by 28. Last year, Minot jumped out on them, ended up winning 28-0, but the Saints were in that game. Couple drop passes. It should have been 14-14 at a half. Minot won 28-0, but this is a little different game. St. Mary's has not been in this game since the get-go.
Well, credit Minot High. Not only their poster players, if you will, but it's been a group effort by the Magi here tonight, and some guys that weren't even on our chart coming into the ballgame making some big-time plays.
Yeah, they're playing a lot of guys. That's the one cool thing if you're head coach Chauncey Hendershot, is you played a lot of bodies. Oh, whoops, somebody got a kickstart for St. Mary's. I don't want to call you out, buddy, but I'm gonna. He was
on the offense, number 7.
Cortland Eberle. I think the pass was to him. You hate that, as you like, they make a call and you're like, oh, it's going to me. Geez, and then you go on 2 and you jump the gun and like, oh man. And now they're going to change the play.
Call it again, coach.
Same play. Come back at it. Come on, give him a chance.
From the shotgun here for Fedorchak. He's going to fall back to pass. Oh, he's got one in hot pursuit. Fedorchak rolls out, fires downfield. That pass intended again for Rebick. Excellent opportunity there, and Fedorchak really showing what kind of talent he has, getting away from the raging bull coming there. Talent Junt.
Yeah, Junt, haven't heard his name a whole lot, but he's played very well tonight. A lot of 2-deep coverage for Minot. Quarterback Fedorchak rolled out, almost had an opportunity as Remick turned upfield. The ball was thrown a little bit flat.
Saints off to punt again. Back to Burke. At his own 45, he's going to bust free up to the Saints 40. And Burke runs that one off ahead. And Minot High with a minute 2 remaining here in the first half leads 28-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Hang around for our halftime report coming up. Chuck and I will break down the numbers of this ball game. We'll take a look around the state as well. Just about, what would it be, 3 miles from here? Legacy hosting probably Cheyenne here tonight. Last we looked, Cheyenne was up 28-7. That's where that score stands right now. Is
Cheyenne ranked number 2 in the state coming in. Legacy, they got some votes, but they lost a lot of people. Coach Clement, he had his hands full of trying to recover from losing like 6 All-Staters.
Excellent run for the Sabres last year, without question.
Yes, one of their best years ever.
Back to pass. Beater fires it across. He's got Kraft, and then Kraft is going to be taken back. What a play there, coming up with The stop for the Saints was number 5, and that's Sam Fedorchak. Wow.
Yeah, Fedorchak, he's a stud out there on the defensive side.
40 seconds ticked out. Trips to the left, one on the right. Falling back to pass. This is Beater. He's got time, fires it across, tried to go up to Kraft. That pass just off the mark, and it brings up a third down now for the Magi at 5 with under a half a minute to play here in our opening half.
He's really found Kraft as kind of being his go-to guy. Conklin's got a couple catches, but Kraft's the guy that he's been thrown to time and time again. His targets, Kraft has caught 4, but he's probably targeted him 7 or 8 times.
Well, Beater walks up again from the shotgun. That's will bring the St. Mary's faithful to volume here on the third down situation. Rolling out again. Beater over towards his left. Fires across the field. That one is going to be picked off. Went into the hands and then out. It's McHugh that comes up with the interception. It was there for Swiddle. Went through his hands, but he was tattooed trying to make the play. And McHugh comes up. Look what I found. And another interception as the Saints get the ball back with 20 seconds to play.
That was a great throw. Right on the money. He threw it over the top of the coverage by the linebackers and in front of the deep coverage. Hit the receiver right in the chest, but he got drilled. Couldn't hold on, and it just popped up in a little tip drill there for the Saints, and Bennett McHugh, the linebacker, was where he should be.
20.7 left here in the opening half. Fedorchak, after a big defensive play, 2 downs ago, is going to fire downfield. They'll take a shot. This one's going to be knocked away by Minot high coverage. Out of the secondary, a talent jump went up and knocked that ball down.
Well, there's no turning things off, and let's just going into half down 28 but Etzel's continuing to throw it up. Let's go the other side. We got 14 passes, just 3 for 14 tonight for Fedorchak, but boy, he has been under duress the entire day.
Guys like Brady Larson in hot pursuit. Roderick, I mean, there's plenty of them for the Magi. You'll see it again here. Running out to the outside, and a big stop coming there. Coming up was number 13, and Michael George makes another play for the Magicians.
George showing why he's an all-stater. Just shed that tackle and just came in big stick in the backfield. Actually lost in the play.
Well, we're through one half of football here tonight at Schmeeker Field in Bismarck. The Saints and the Magicians in a bit of a dogfight early on, and then Minot High just unhooked the plow. They lead 28-0. From that second drive of the ball game, it's been all Magi. Here tonight, we'll break it down when we come back. Intermission report coming up just right around the corner. We'll give you an update from some of the scores across the state. We'll take another look at that media poll inside of 2A football and North Dakota. And we'll get you set for our second half. At the end of one half of football, Minot High leads 28-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
All right, bring it up. Come on. Someone's got to call a play. All right, let's go. I right, zoom, spider 2, Y banana. You don't like that one? Okay. I right, 40 power? No. You don't want that one either? All right, go kickoff. Get out of here. Let's go.
First Western is your independent community bank with all the online conveniences you want and an experienced team you can count on.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
The best part about working at BNC National Bank is developing relationships. I love working with people. We've been here for over 25 years.
We've grown just like our communities we're in.
But we still have that personal connection with our customers.
And that's why we can find the best solutions for them.
It feels great seeing projects around the community and knowing we're a small part of making that happen.
We're helping people buy their first homes.
Plan for the future.
From startups to big business.
We're part of the community.
And we're proud of it.
Yours truly, BNC.
And finally, Agent Smith. He's in charge of restoring your property to its original state.
Ackerman Estvold is an experienced team of architects and civil engineers committed to achieving the best possible solution for every project. Over the past 20 years, our team has been trusted with jobs big and small throughout the state, from major flood protection projects to county roads, classroom walls, and community spaces. We will be your partner through the initial design to final construction. Trust the Ackerman Estvold team with your next project.
Every 10 minutes, 3 people in the United States will die from a preventable incident. More people are dying on our roadways and in their homes than ever before, but that's where the North Dakota Safety Council can help. Safety is our mission, from the workplace to any place. We're a private nonprofit that offers more than 150 training courses that are dynamic, hands-on, and effective. From CPR and first aid to driver safety and even workplace violence preparedness, we want to make sure your loved ones come home safe each night. Go to ndsc.org to see how together we can make a difference.
One half down, 1 to go. The opener for the 2023 North Dakota High School Football AA season for the Magi and the St. Mary's Saints, alongside of Mr. Chuck Claremont. I'm Nick Holberg. Thanks for joining us tonight on the PSP Network. Well, it's been all mine and high in this one so far here tonight. Some big plays from the Saints, but the Magi have really just flexed some muscle, it seems, here tonight in this showdown. For St. Mary's coming into the second half, they look to rally to see if they could find a way around the stingy mine and high defense. And for the Magi, it seems like they look to maybe eliminate some of those flags that they've had here tonight and really just execute a little bit more, but they've really done a nice job here. Chuck, your overall thoughts on half number 1 here tonight?
Well, that's the only negative for Minot is the penalties. 5 penalties for 60 yards, and ultimately for Minot, outside of that, I mean, they've just played from special teams, from punting to kicking. Burke's doing a tremendous job from his kickoffs to the defense, giving up just 48 yards in that first half. I mean, just an amazing half all around. So Coach Chauncey Henderson, he's going to find something, right? He's going to say, hey, got to hold on to the football at the end. I want another score there. We catch that football. Hey, maybe we score. You got a great defensive play, but he hits you in the hands. You got to bring it in, and he's going to come up with something, as all good coaches do. They'll find something to tell you got to get better at, but he's got to be very pleased and he's going to have a lot of nice, pleasant things to say to his team at halftime as well.
Well, we talked about it earlier on tonight that St. Mary's is the underdog coming into tonight's showdown against Minot High. And for the Magi, a team that looks to get back to their winning ways after a few years of maybe not being at that peak that they were at. And then, Chauncey Hendershot comes in and takes over for Barry Holman and rebuilds a program and not necessarily starts from scratch, but works his way through that transition phase of it. Minot High looking good early on here tonight. For St. Mary's, is there any big positives that you could take out of that first half? Can you find many for the Saints?
They're down 28-0 basically with less than a minute into the second quarter. And defensively, they stepped up and played way better the last 4 or 5 possessions of the half. So Minot scores in their first 3 possessions, and then really, then they get an interception in St. Mary's third possession. But ultimately, these last 3, they did a good job. They ended 2 of them in interceptions, and the other ones they forced Minot to punt. So yeah, that's a positive from Coach Schweitzer's defense. He's saying, hey, all right, 3 times in a row we've stopped them. Let's come out this next second half, see if we can't stuff Minot, and see if we can't do something. Let's win that second half.
The lights are on now at Schmeeker Field. I want to take just a moment here and talk about Dan Schmeeker and his time as the St. Mary's Saints, the head man, if you will, and so many memories of St. Mary's football with Dan Schmeeker at the helm, and so many good things to say about that guy. Are there a few in your time, not only knowing him as a player, but as a coach and as a broadcaster in your mind? This is the first time we see St. Mary's without him on the sidelines as the man with the hat in charge.
I mean, I can rewind back to when I remember a senior playing against St. Mary's, and the positive things Coach Schmeeker said. I remember after the game we beat St. Mary's 7-0 when I was a senior. He came across the field and he made it a point to come up to me and he said, hey, you're the difference in the game. And he said, it was your kicking. And like, last thing I'm thinking of my punt, I was a decent punter, but the things he talked about, the things, the complimentary he was one of those coaches you so respected as an opponent, because he was gritty, but he was also super kind. And that's the part to me that I'll always remember. And so gracious as a coach that sometimes coaches are grumpy when they lose. They don't want to talk to you and don't want to give you the time. And he was always, again, so gracious, giving us the time after the games, giving us the time before the games. What can I get for you? Always thanking us. And I love that part about how good he was in that aspect, that he was always so generous with his time and his effort and his kindness for everybody around him. And I walked in and I saw the little statue, little head they have of his sunglasses, and if you're going to put a statue of Coach Schmeeker, you better have a full-size one, and you better show some snow falling and him wearing his shorts, his blue and white striped shorts. That's the true Coach Dan Schmeeker, the toughness that he just exuded, and I just love the man. And he's around here somewhere. I guarantee he's probably, maybe he's not here tonight. I would think he would be, but then again, it's probably hard his first game back he wants to give the light to Toby, saying this is your baby right now. I don't want to be a distraction. So he might be listening to us right now. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they named the field after him. He is obviously special to a lot of people here in St. Mary's country. Chuck, do you have some first half stats for us?
Yeah, 100 miles an hour. We'll see how these go. I'm not going to, don't go to Vegas in any of these, but for Minot, Tyson Rosiska leads them 6 carries, 57 yards. He had a 46-yard touchdown run to get the Minot Magicians on the board. Lucas Beater, the quarterback, 1 carry for 2 yards. Broderick has 3 carries for 19 yards, and Kellen Burke has 1 carry for 10 yards. Beater throwing the football he looked unbelievable his first 13 throws. He was 10 for 13 at that point in time, 2 touchdowns. Finishes the first half 10 for 17, 120 yards, 2 interceptions, and 2 touchdowns. A 13-yarder to Logan Conklin and an 11-yarder to Tyson Rosiska. Leading them in the first half is Kraft had 4 catches for 28 yards. Conklin had 2 for 33. Tyson Rosiska 1 for 11 and a touchdown. Burke had 1 for 16. Noah Bledsoe had 1 for 2. On the other side for the St. Mary's Saints, this is going to be a quick one. The Saints, Sam Fedorchuk, 7 carries for 3 yards, has 2 sacks included in there. James Marks has 3 carries for -5. Aiden Price, 1 carry for -7. And Vetter, 2 carries for 3 yards. Throwing the football, Sam Fedorchuk, 3 of 14, 27 yards and an interception. Charles Richter, 1 of 2 for 28 yards and an interception. The 4 catches for the Saints. One went to Connor, an 8-yarder. Aiden Price is 1 for 28. That was the completion by Charles Richter. And then Ruggles came in, had 2 catches for 19 yards. From a team perspective, well, this is going to show the tail of the tape. I'll do it quickly here. Minot, 88 yards rushing, 120 yards passing, 28 total plays for 208 yards. St. Mary's, 14 rushes, -7. 55 yards passing, so 30 plays for 48. It's been all Minot in that first half.
Well, it is officially time for our second half. Thanks, partner, by the way. Job well done. If you guys can see Chuck Claremont at work up here, I'm telling you, we do appreciate you. We are underway for the second half. Minot High's in white, St. Mary's is in blue. Look out, that ball's going to go all the way back into the end zone. The call coming here, Chuck, after it goes off the hands of Small and then through the back of the end zone for the Magi.
Not only off the hands, then he went back to get it. Then the turf monster caught him, then he tripped and fell. And thankfully to him, the ball rolled out of the bounds, out of the end zone. And for that, it's still a touchback, ends up being that way. So Minot will get the ball 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Well, here come the Magi, leading 28-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Luke Beater from the shotgun position. One of the backfield, 2 lined up on the right side. That one of the backfield is Tyson Rosiska. He'll bust free, and Rosiska is going to get 9 on the play. He's going to be brought down there by Hank Berry. And a nice run to start things off in the second half for the Magi. And Tyson Rosiska.
Off tackle to Ethan Armstrong over Armstrong and Dylan Huber. Nice big hole, and the tackle actually came from behind, so Rosiska, he's fresh. I thought he was going to get... Oh, now we got a 15-yard penalty after the end of the play, so give Rosiska 9 and then add 15 more on top of that. The Saints... Only 1 penalty in that first half, but that's a big one to start the second half.
Well, the ball's marched up to midfield. The Magi will go to work again here with Luke Beater firing from the shotgun. Broderick in the backfield. They hand off to him. He's going to cut to his right, then his left. Another flag coming here on the play.
Penalty marker on the field.
It's a nice play by the linebacker, John Richter. He stuffed him right in the hole, shed the blocker, went down low, pulled Broderick down. And now they're going to call what, holding?
Holding on the offense, number 52. 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
All right, so you'll give a couple yards to Broderick. And then we'll go back 10 from the spot of the foul. So it's kind of messed up how they do it in high school. But now you'll have another penalty for Minot High, a hold this time. 6 penalties now, 70 yards for Minot.
Magi line up with 2 in the backfield. This time under center as Luke Beater puts the man in motion. That's Kraft, fakes the handoff, goes back to Broderick, and he's going to move forward for a gain of about 2 on the play. He's going to be gobbled up near the line of scrimmage. Line number 77. That's Barnes that came up with the stop, the sophomore for the Saints.
Didn't get any playing time and much in the defense in the first half, but hey, he's a starter on the offensive side. They're going, hey, we'll give you a little bit of opportunity here now, and Roman Barnes just stuffed him in the end right there.
Don't look now, Chuck, but across town, the EDC versus WDA matchup. getting out ahead 41-7. Cheyenne leads Legacy late in that ball game.
41-7?
41-7.
Wow.
Kraft back up to the original line of scrimmage, brings up a third down. You'll hear the Saints fans come to volume here again in just a moment, I would have to assume.
Come to volume. I like that.
Nothing like Metallica to make them do it. On it high with two in the backfield. They've got Conklin on the left side. Kraft on the right. Broderick gets the handoff. Oh, he's going to be wrapped up 2 yards behind that line of scrimmage. And again, the big number 77, the sophomore, comes up and makes the play here for the Saints.
Roman Barnes. But the big play was made before that on a blitzing linebacker. I think it was either Richter or McHugh as he came in and hit Broderick in the backfield, slowed him down enough to bring the little TFL tackle for loss for Barnes.
Conklin back to punt, boots this one away inside the 25. Oh, what a play that was. Small went down like a bullet. Ran into the intended recipient there.
It was actually a fumble, as it was a drop punt by Vetter, and then Vetter got thumped. I didn't see who made it. It was Small that made the big hit. And then a recovery of a fumble. So the Saints defense did just what we talked about. Stopped Minot, forced the punt. Then you get drop the football on the field, and Minot's right there for the recovery.
What a play it was. Small comes up huge. He's been good here in this ball game without question. Luke Beater goes to work again. Hands off to Conklin. Bust free on the right side, looking for a hole. He's going to cut back at the 20. Then he's gobbled up on the play. Handful of Saints.
Number 11, Logan Conklin.
Remick is going to be the one that's going to get the credits.
And why not give the ball to Logan Conklin, right? Let's get him the ball. He hasn't had a lot of touches, just two, other than a punt return. A little end around to Logan Conklin. Picks up nice yards on first down.
Tonight's game, by the way, brought to you by the UPS store. Located in the Marketplace Foods Plaza on South Broadway. Open 6 days a week. Beater off to Kraft. Over on the left side, Kraft bust freeze into the Servpro red zone as Kraft is tackled by Richter. Kraft has been one of the top targets here tonight for the Magi.
Just a short gain of 2, but man, John Richter, holy cow. He is all over the field right now. We mentioned a state champ at 152, and he comes from a long bloodline of state champs. His father was a state champ back in the day for the Saints.
Beater's going to hand off. Here's Ruziska. Speaking of a bloodline, his older brother Hunter was a stud for the Magi. Cortland Eberle's going to be the one that's going to make the stop.
Just a hair too late, though.
Another first down for the Magi in the Servpro red zone. Servpro 24/7 emergency service with trained technicians. Servpro brings you the red zone. Advanced technology, fired water, cleanup and restoration. I've used them before. I hate to say that I've had to, but I have. And boy, they did a great job, I'm telling you. PSP office took a beating a couple years ago.
That's right, you told me that.
Servpro came in and cleaned it up, put it all back together. Tyson Ruziska on the carry. He's mugged. Oh, the ball's going to come free. Peter's going to fall on it, but they're going to say Ruziska was down at the 15-yard line as John Richter again.
Speaking of everywhere, he's got to have a dozen tackles tonight. It looked like Ruziska was going to be able to dance his way into the secondary, and right there to fill the hole was Richter.
Well, the Magi look at a second down and 10. Here's the ball on the 13-yard line of the Saints. Chauncey Hendershot wants to talk things over, I do believe, and he does. It's a Hub International Insurance timeout. Call Josh Cattell or Michael Borman today at 355-3100. It's Hub International Insurance for all your personal and business insurance needs. We'll take a step aside and come back as the Magi are in the red zone with a second down and 10. There was 6:44 to play in the third quarter.
Really thinking about the shots, honestly. It's just the shots came to me. Derek and Eric especially had some great drives, which led to some great kicks. Shout out to them. It feels good.
For you to come out here from a defensive effort against Eagle staff, you're way smaller than him. Obviously, how did you get yourself pumped up for that?
Well, Coach has a thing that says height doesn't measure heart, and I strongly believe in that. I got the heart, and it doesn't matter if I got the height or not.
That line, good luck next week.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, great job. I don't have the height, but I got the heart. That was a pretty cool sign right there by Jagger Gunville. Back up to you guys.
Yes, and now.
Well, we come back with Conklin in motion. Beater's going to roll out to the right side. Beater runs it ahead forward up to the 10-yard line. Beater scampers out of bounds. Hank Berry was the man that shortened that gap in a quick hurry, but a nice play from Beater nevertheless.
Yeah, Beater rolled out to the outside and kind of had a run-pass option right there, but great defensive coverage in the secondary by the Saints. And then I like how Berry, the linebacker, just stayed where he needed to be, and as soon as Beater decided to run, he was right there to shove him out of bounds for just a 3-yard gain.
Well, the Magi see a third down and 7 now inside the ServPro red zone. Conklin along with Kraft over on the left side. Broderick in the backfield. They hand off to Broderick. He's got a hole. He goes up the middle. That will be close to a first down for the Magi. Will we see our first measurement of the season coming here tonight? Or where do they spot the ball?
David Vetter went down low to pull him down, but good. Oh, wow, and you got motion. That was really late. They call motion on that for Minot. So another penalty, this time a huge penalty. It was his 3rd and 5. Now it's going to go back to the 15-yard line. It's going to be a 3rd and 11.
Well, you see Chauncey Hendershot, the head coach of the Magi.
Not happy.
Not happy. He was quite a playmaker at Bishop Ryan, the quarterback. He went on to play at Minot State University. Back in my era, back in the early 2000s. He's not gray yet, Chuck, but penalties like that for the Magi in the early portion of the season certainly will start turning that facial hair top of his head just a bit grayer as that ball's going to be tossed to the corner of the end zone. It's completed. Touchdown, Magi.
Wow, and what a job by Burke. Tiptoeing into that end zone. The ball was thrown perfectly to the outside by Lucas Beater. And walked the tightrope by Caden Kraft, pulled it in, and picked up a touchdown, a 15-yard catch, or throw and catch for the Magicians.
Well, there's targets for the Magi, and Kraft has been one of them. He's paid off with a touchdown here. Burke comes on, puts the extra point through the uprights. He's perfect on the night. And we see a run time now at 35-0 as the Magi lead on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. When we come back, Chuck will have the numbers of that drive for the Magi, who have dominated here tonight to the opener.
Remember where this goes? I don't know. Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom, zoom?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Inspections are free to ensure your vehicle is always in peak condition.
Thinking service?
Well, we do apologize. That's an old commercial. We do apologize. Trusted Tire, the new location in Minot and Bismarck. Big thanks to Trusted Tire for their continued support. That ball's going to be booted off to the Saints. They're going to pick it up and carry up to about the 28-yard line. Prestwich is going to come up with the stop.
It's a big hit. Lord the boom on Vetter.
Vetter had to carry ahead forward after he moved it off ahead after Minot High scored. $35-0 Magi lead the Saints here tonight. Fedorchak had to work on that one as well as that ball was snapped low. Fedorchak has 3 on top of him, fires it out. Fedorchak gets away. They're going to toss the yellow flag on the play as well.
Penalty marker on the field.
So it can't be grounding, maybe holding. Minot just getting through to the past the offense. I mean, you got to give some love to the secondary too, because Fedorchak had some time. He kind of bought some time when he rolled out, but nobody was open. Finally, smartly threw it away. But they're going to call something against the Saints.
Illegal man downfield on the offense.
Ineligible man downfield. Wow, that's kind of a referee bingo. Toby's like adding insult to injury. We're down 35 buff. You're going to call me for an ineligible man downfield? Come on, man.
Fedorchak fires across the middle. That ball's going to be up for grabs. 500 hits the deck as the coverage was there. Conklin was out there along with Junt.
For number 14, Brady Ruggles.
Rubbles was the intended recipient of that pass. Falls on the turf, and it brings up a second down and 15. Ball on the 23-yard line of the Saints as they continue to work.
3 for 15 for Fedorchak. He's got a little work to do to get to one of my worst. I came in against St. Mary's after our quarterback got hurt when I was a sophomore. 6 for 26 with 3 interceptions. How about that one? That's one of those games you don't forget, not in a good way. And we lost 14-0.
Hate to tell you, that's why at recess I was never the QB anymore. Nice batted down pass. Magi defensive line comes up big. Landon Bedell was there again.
Yeah, Bedell, nobody blocked him. He's got right in front of the quarterback. Big 6'4", got those hands up, knocked it down to the ground. Okay, timeout. I got to hear this. 2 minute interceptions at recess.
Well, you know how, all-time QB, everybody calls that. Well, you got to be able to chuck it a little bit in order to keep that spot. I don't think I had many chances for that. And guess where I ended up? On the line.
Oh, yeah. On the line.
Pressure again. Fedorchak fires it out across the middle. And Brady Larson was the one that had the motor on in hot pursuit.
Put pressure on the outside, a little outside blitz. I think that's what the D coordinator is doing for Minot is, hey, if you're going to roll out, we are blitzing our outside linebackers, whether it's Michael George or whether it's Brady Larson, and depending upon which time. That time was on the left side, and Larson, the 5'9", almost 200-pound senior, was in the face of Fedorchak. Fedorchak forced him to throw it away.
Speaking of Magi hockey, John Willard checking in tonight, the former assistant coach of Minot High for many years. There's going to be a little altercation after that ball's caught by Burke.
It was a fair catch, and Dominic Zander was excited that he was first guy down there, and gave Conklin a little love, right? Now they're going to throw a flag going, I guess we got to throw that, even though we really don't want to. And Toby's coming out going, come on, man. He didn't hit him. He just kind of gave him a love tap, hugged him, and said, hey, great game.
Well, emotions are going to run high right now at a 35-0 score in this opener here tonight. There's no question about that.
And I would tell you, there was no emotions in that one. He just was, just ran.
15 yards.
And that's going to be a 15-yarder. And I think Toby's just going to say, good hustle. Just be a little more aware when they got to be looking at the guy, right? Don't run with your head down. Look up. When he's waving that arm ahead, it means you can't hit him.
Magi go to work again. Wideouts on the left and right, one in the backfield. New quarterback in for the Magi. Ball's going to be handed off to Small. He's going to cut over to the right sideline. Small bust free. Does he reach that first down marker? As he reached forward. First down, Magicians, as Small got out in a quick hurry, hit the edge and dove forward for the first down.
Great feet right there, too, by Small as they went down at his feet, and he just jumped in the air and pushed him out of the way.
Cash Danielson was the one that took the last snap for the Magi.
It's not fair if you're a quarterback having that name, right? Cash, I love that.
Well, Cash checks in here for the Magicians. 6'2" senior. Weighs 175 pounds for the Magi. Calls the shots here. Minot High with good ball position on the Saints 31. Danielson on the keeper. He's gobbled up on the play as Cortland Eberle comes up with the stop.
Fake that inside handoff, and Catch turns upfield. A little tentative, though. You know what I mean? He wasn't running like, hey, you fake that handoff. You see the hole. You hit it going hard, and just kind of tippy-toed a little bit there. I'm sure that's what Coach Hendershot's saying. Hey, you fake that handoff. You just stick that foot in the ground. You go hard forward.
Telling you before the broadcast here tonight that Netflix has a documentary out about the Florida Gators back when Tim Tebow had dominance back in the 2005 to 2009 time frame. Get a good understanding of exactly what you're talking about there with the way that Tebow used to play back in the day. Another flag on the play coming here.
On the offense, 5 yards.
This is one thing as a coach, you're just going, okay, guys, we got some of the second team guys in there. We're gonna come in there. Let's look clean. Now there's got some guys in and out. We'll see if I can throw some numbers at you to so we get some guys going here, because I'm going to get some love for some dudes that are playing. Let's see. We got 74 for Minot is in there. We don't have a 74. How's that work? He is 74, though. I got other numbers. See if I can find a.
Well, the effort was there on your part, Chuck. That's what matters. Handoff again, Small. He's going to cut free all the way up to the 20, and Small's going to nearly pick up another first down for the Magi.
How quick are his feet? Between Rosiska, between Broderick, now you throw Small in the mix. Almost not fair.
Yeah,
Small running, I mean, back-to-back double-digit runs.
Don't forget about Burke back there who could.
Oh, hey, it's my bad.
Could hammer it down as well.
Yeah, he hasn't got very many touches, but I'd be giving him the ball. He's an athlete.
Wendell Johnson, the wideout on the left side here for the Magi. On the right is Aaron Prestwich. Rolling out, Danielson throws it across. That pass is completed into the hands. It goes here for the Magicians. Number 36, Landon Bedell was the one.
Yeah, I'm getting Bedell some love on offense. Throws him in, little tight end, busts to the outside. Good job, a little roll-out pass with the quarterback, Danielson. Hits Bedell, and he picks up 15 there. So Cash getting in on a couple first downs. I'm just going to call him Cash. Cash D.
I like it. 3 quarters complete. The Magi lead 35-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. BNC locations in North Dakota, Minnesota, and Arizona. Visit BNC Bank online at bnc.bank. Your life is busy. We'll make managing your money easy. Again, BNC Bank scoreboard reads 35-0. 3 quarters complete. 1 to go here in the capital city. All Magi tonight.
You need someone you can trust. Someone who cares about your safety, your budget, and your peace of mind. At Trusted Tire & Auto, trust is more than just a word. It's at the heart of everything we do. We're a local business, owned and operated by people who live and work in this community. And we believe that by building relationships based on trust and care, we can make our community a better place to live and drive. Trusted Tire & Auto, where trust, care, and community meet on the road.
Tonight's ball game on the PSP Network is brought to you in part by our friends at Prestwich Orthodontics, proudly helping the region, making those smiles perfect. They specialize in braces and Invisalign for all ages. They offer free consultations and financing options that make it easy to take your smile to the next level. It's Prestwich Orthodontics. Minot High's in the Serve Pro red zone here to start the 4th quarter as Cash Danielson takes the snap from the shotgun. Hands it off and on the run for the Magi. New ball carrier in for the Magicians is 39. That's Sean Small, the senior running back.
210 pounds. Big dude, pulled down from behind. Good job defending there for the Saints. Just picked to give him a couple yards, but I don't have enough room for all these guys that are getting the football.
There's plenty of touches.
Stop.
Tonight, no question about that. Well, the Magi look to knock on the doorstep one more time in the Serve Pro red zone. They send 2 out to the right side. 1 in the backfield is Danielson. Takes the call. Saints are almost off sides. They stay on. Now the pitch comes out. It's going to be Small again. And Small's going to run it off forward. Make that James Marks, rather, on the stop. And it was
Small. Yeah,
Jadrian Small on the carry. Thank you.
Jadrian Small, yeah, but a nice play by James Marks. Defensive end kind of busted in, went down low against Small. And hey, when he gets those feet, stutter stepping, boy, to be able to grab, he must have grabbed the middle one because he was moving 100 miles an hour.
The Magi spread it out again. They run it right up the gut with Small, and he's going to be gobbled up at the line of scrimmage. That will bring up a 4th down.
Big tackle by guess who? Give you one guess.
I would have to guess either Richter or Barry.
Richter.
Richter's been all over it all night long here tonight. Excellent effort from him.
4th down for the Magicians.
Well, 4th down and 4th down and goal here for the Magi with 10:06 ticking down here in the 4th quarter, leading 35-0. Danielson fires across the middle. That one goes off the hands. Nice defensive stop from Charles Richter. And Minot High for the first time tonight turns it over on downs.
A good job by the Saints. Give the fans something to cheer about. Has got a big stop right there. 1st and goal on the 8-yard line. 4 good plays. 3 running plays. They stuffed in that one on a nice play by Charles Richter. Century leads West Fargo end of 3, 31-28.
That's a ball game. Well, who will it be this year out of the WDA? Mandan in the poll right now as well to start the season. Minot High receiving some votes. Legacy receiving some votes. Century in that poll also inside the top 5 in North Dakota 2A football.
Marks is just buried under
On the carry,
by
number 33,
big dude Clay Mullins, 255-pound sophomore.
For the Magicians, number 76,
just engulfed him. James Marks has not had a good day. 4 carries, -5 yards.
Well, you look at an era for Minot High football that features plenty of Dakota Bowl appearances, plenty of opportunities at the top of the list inside of the states. That state title back in 1980, their last. After this year, the Magi will now find half of the group, maybe making their way across town to the north side for Minot North. The Sentinels opening up varsity play next year. They were at DLB tonight playing
a JV schedule. Just sophomores right here, 2nd year, the guys. Now, where's the campus? How does that work? We got a timeout, I guess.
Well, we'll take it as well. The Hub International Insurance timeout. We'll talk more about the Sentinels when we come back. It's been all Magi tonight, however. They lead 35-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
All right, bring it up. Come on. Someone's got to call a play. All right, let's go. I right, zoom, spider 2, Y banana. You don't like that one? Okay. I right, 40 power? No. You don't want that one either? All right, go kick off. Get out of here. Let's go.
First Western is your independent community bank with all the online conveniences you want and an experienced team you can count on.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
We come back with the Saints deep in their own territory from the end zone. Fired out of the blue paints. Making the stop was Burke in the secondary.
Intended for Conrad Colbert, just kind of threw it up, right? If it would have been an interception, it would have kind of been like a punt anyway, so probably what Coach Edsel was thinking.
Charles Richter, the quarterback, coming in to take some snaps. He took some snaps in the first half as well.
He did. Had a 28-yard completion, then he had an interception, so now he's 1 for 4. Uh-oh, and the ball snapped out of the end zone. Punter couldn't handle it. Went right through his hands.
It's going to be a safety here for the Magi.
Beckett Price, I don't know if he took his eye off it, expected somebody to come. It went right through his hands out of bounds. So that'll be a safety, as you mentioned. Just what the Saints are looking for.
Moves the score to 37-0 here tonight at Schmeeker Field.
And Minot will get the ball back. It's been all Minot. Minot started the scoring with Rosiska on that 47-yard run or 46-yard run. And then Conklin got a 13-yard reception in the corner of the end zone and a great individual effort. Then Rosiska, a little swing pass to him, 11 yards, 21 zip before you blinked an eye in the first quarter. And then DJ Jones with the 40-yard interception return. That made it 28-0. And it's St. Mary's been battling defensively. Just offensively, they got nothing. Got nothing offensively. Defensively is, I think we kind of said earlier, that's kind of where they're going to have to hang their hat.
Well, you look at Minot High, under 10 points allowed in half of their games last year. They bring a bunch of that talent back. This ball is going to be booted off. Minot High is going to have the return, as Urban was the one that carried it ahead forward all the way over the 45-yard line, down towards the 40, and the Magi are in good field position again here.
So it's going to be a tough one. I mean, it was all Rosiska early, but man, Beaters had a great game. He's got 3 touchdowns. He's got 147 yards. Where are we going in terms of who am I talking to down there?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Defense have held everybody. I mean, there's been guys on the defensive side that we surely could be talking to as well. Maybe one of each, right? Somebody gets somebody in the offensive side, somebody in the defensive side.
Like where your head's at with that. You can also tweet at us at Network PSP. Let us know who tonight's MVP of the game is. Brought to you by Sport Clips. Oh, big time hit there. Wow, talk about a highlight reel play. And guess who?
Do you need to look?
Richter, yeah, my goodness.
Talk about an MVP. This guy is showing, man, he is something else. This guy's an athlete all over. I know he's smart. He's just a tough kid.
You know what I like the most about it? They're trailing 37-0, and that effort level hasn't changed from the word go tonight.
Great statement. I'm all over that. So that was actually a tackle for loss, huh? I didn't see who was running it.
7 minutes remain here in the ball game. Man in motion for the Magi, but they're going to hand it straight back and moving. Get ahead forward for the Magicians was number 22, Caden Fillion, the junior.
So, okay, that's a Minot Fillion name. Talk to me about that one. That's a hockey name.
Without question. There's been a handful of Fillions that have come through. Most recently, there was a Fillion that played running back for the Magi. Also a star hockey player. That was Tom Fillion's son.
Okay.
Mr. Hockey back in the early 90s after helping Minot High to their first ever state championship.
In hockey?
In high school hockey.
Bismarck High, right?
8-7.
Oh, man, that just hit me in the heart. So I was watching. That could have been Bismarck's first state championship, too.
Danielson's going to keep it. He moves it forward. He picks up about 3 on the play as Hank Berry shuts the door on him. We're down to 6 minutes to play here in regulation. Stick around tonight for our Schatz Crossroads Planning Team Financial Advisors postgame show here tonight. Schatz Crossroads, home to that famous number 99. Team buses are always welcome.
Team buses are always welcome.
Bring the bus in. You can order online at SchatzCrossroads.com. My little guy, Ike Holberg, he just eats it up. He's a ranch guy. Schatz has the ranch, I'm telling you. I don't know if there's anything bad on that menu at Schatz.
Yeah.
Deep punt's going to go all the way back inside 5-yard line. It's going to skip through the end zone. So the Saints will get the ball back with 5:20 to play in regulation.
That wasn't Conklin, was it? That looked like Kobe Iman. That looked like it was 81. That was a huge punt, man. He busted that one 46 yards. And it was high in the air.
Wide receiver and linebacker for the Magi. Urban, the 6'5", 215-pound senior. Yeah, that was a towering boot.
Ooh. Wind is kind of down right now, so you can't even give credit to the wind.
Well, the Saints look to march here.
Only time the clock's stopping right now is at a change of possession, so it'll just stop temporarily.
With the pass across the middle, that ball incomplete off the hands of Charles Richter, the quarterback.
Richter threw it, intended for Conrad Culber.
We'd also like to wish a happy 16-year birthday to Finley Schmidt.
We're still trying to figure out who we're going to talk to.
Happy 16th birthday to Finley Schmidt.
Well, stick around for that Planning Team Financial Shots Crossroads post-game show. Chuck will have our MVP of the game brought to you by Sport Clips. We'll have our Jobbers Moving and Storage move of the game tonight as well. Whether you're moving across town or across the country, Jobbers can help you with your moving and storage needs.
Noslin on a run, but what a tackle out of nowhere for Minot, like shot out of a cannon. Blake Anderson, what a play there, huh? How about the quickness on that guy?
The sophomore comes up big for the Magi.
Another tackle for loss. Minot's had a ton of those.
That stat line tonight for the Magician defense.
Oh, it's going to be ugly for St. Mary's, I can tell you that.
Well, 28-0 last year when these two teams matched up, but it's the Magi tonight leading 37-0 at this point. The defense not making anything easy as Burt comes up and swats that pass away as it was intended for Culber. Brings up a 4th down and 12 here for the Saints.
Well, I think that might be all she wrote. Now all I got to bring down is the little Sports Clip MVP sign. I got to take a picture of somebody here, right?
If you would, please, my friend. You ever been to Sport Clips? They have just the MVP experience.
Well, you know who's one of the guys that runs it? Mike Fedorchik. So he's not, I mean, he's in the program, right? He's one of the guys that helps us out.
Oh, there's going to be a late hit on that play after Burke.
And again, he wasn't trying. He was, I guess it doesn't matter if you're trying or not. He didn't hurt him. I mean, people are freaking out, but he's okay. He didn't hurt him. 23-yard kick.
Burke hopped up and said that's the second time.
All right, I'll work down for this one now because I think this should be the running clock. It should be all she wrote here, huh?
Well, we'll catch you on the field if you want to dial me in here when we get into that post-game show, Chuck. Appreciate your efforts here tonight. He'll have the full recap of tonight's ball game as well. Hair looks nice tonight. Looks like you just came from Sport Clips, Chuck. I'm telling you. I look like I just got done at Shots Crossroads. 3:20 to play in the ball game. Tonight's matchup brought to you on the PSP Network by Minot State University as well. Minot State University, the best way to predict your future is to create it. With over 100 areas of study at Minot State, you'll earn degrees for the career that you desire.
On the carry, number 28, Taven Backman. On the stop for the Saints, number 24, Ethan Bricknell.
Backman had the carry for the Magi. We roll underneath 3 minutes now to play in regulation. Minot High is going to move to 1-0 on the season. The Saints are going to drop to 0-1 to start off the 23 campaign. Minot went 6-4 last year. 3-6 last year for St. Mary's. Magi had their season ended in the state quarterfinals. Handoff for the Magicians and moving that ball forward up over the 25-yard line was number 29, Blake Anderson, the 10th grader. 2:27 ticks down. Well, if you haven't already done so, make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. Our mission is promoting local athletes in our great state of North Dakota. More games coming your way next week in a busy schedule. We'll kick off the high school volleyball season. On the carry for the Magi, that was Tegan Schindler. Gets up to the 20-yard line. He's got a gain of about 4 on the play. He got to the 19, I should say. Or the 21, rather. 1:39 ticks down. Chuck Claremont will be on the field tonight for our post-game conversation of the Shots Crossroads Planning Team Financial Advisors post-game. We'll have Chauncey Hendershot and our MVP of the contest here tonight. On the keeper from the snap, it's Schindler again, and Schindler scrambles. He's going to be eaten up on the play.
Number 8, Tegan Schindler. On the stop for the Saints, number 24, Ethan Bricknell.
The turnover on downs brings up the Saints and their offense. Here with 1:09 to play in the ball game. Big thanks again tonight to our friends at Northern Plains Heating and Air. Northern Plains Heating and Air has over 25 years of experience as your heating and air experts. Factory authorized dealer for AeroSeal. No other choice to seal your heating and air game than Northern Plains Heating and Air. Find them online, northern-plains.com. Big thanks again to Prestwich Orthodontics, 852-2646, or ModernBraces.com. Prestwich Orthodontics, specializing in braces and Invisalign for all ages. 1:09 left in the ball game. Another low snap here on the keeper. It was Richter. He was gobbled up on the play. And on the stop for the Magi was number 20, Bedingfield. Brings up a second down and 13. Off the snap again, the Magi defense swarms in to make the stop. And a third down. Play clock's at 26. Game clock is at 17. Saints are going to end the ball game here tonight. The Magi are going to get the final 37-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. The Magicians open up their season with a win and a big one here tonight at St. Mary's. The Saints played a good ball game tonight. Minot High just had more in the tank from the start of this contest here this evening. Stick around for our Planning Team Financial Advisors Shots Crossroads postgame show. We'll be right back with Chuck Claremont on the field in just a moment. Final score again, 37-0. The Magi take the victory here tonight.
When it comes to your car, you need someone you can trust. Someone who cares about your safety, your budget, and your peace of mind. At Trusted Tire & Auto, trust is more than just a word. It's at the heart of everything we do. We're a local business, owned and operated by people who live and work in this community. And we believe that by building relationships based on trust and care, we can make our community a better place to live and drive. Trusted Tire & Auto, where trust, care, and community meet on the road.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7, pressure, points, yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here?
That's the spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
How would you like to turn this into this? With Shots Crossroads Fuel to Food Reward Program, you can. Here's how it works. Pick up a fuel tracker card from any of our C-store cashiers. Every time you fill up with gasoline or diesel, use the fuel tracker card to record your gallons. Once you reach 1,000 gallons, you'll be eligible for a $10 gift card to Shots Crossroads Restaurant. Start earning your rewards today at Shots Crossroads.
Are you moving your business or your home across the town or across the country? We know it can be stressful. To ensure your possessions arrive on time, intact, and on budget, make your move with Jobbers Moving and Storage. Jobbers can help you with every aspect of your move. With our efficient step-by-step approach to move management, we can tailor a plan to suit your needs and schedule. With locations in Bismarck, Fargo, Minot, and Aberdeen, Jobbers Moving and Storage is your choice. Visit jobberswarehouse.com. It's Jobbers Moving and Storage.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
$37-0 the final. Welcome into our planning team financial advisor Shots Crossroads post-game show here tonight. It's a final as the Magi come up big on the first one of the season here tonight. Let's go down to the field. Chuck Claremont's got our MVPs of the game here tonight. Chuck, whenever you're ready, my friend, we'll take you down on the field. Job well done here tonight, Chuck. Well, if you're ready, we're ready for you, my friend.
Tonight, but defensively, I think you held them under 100 yards collectively. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was all communication, playing together, playing fast, and we work on it in the practice field, and we just get after it.
Your expectations coming into this year, you won some games at the end of the year, you lost to Shanley, had some bad taste in your mouth coming out to start this year.
Yeah, but we kind of had to forget about it. This is a new year, and this is a new team, and we just got to go out there and play every down.
So what are your expectations coming into this year now? Big win. The St. Mary's, they were picked down, so I mean, it was a game you came out, you thought you would win, and you performed. What's the rest of the year going to look like for you guys?
Well, we take one game at a time, and we just got to play it right and play together, and I think if we do that, we have a chance every week.
So talk to me defensively about all levels. Your line, your linebackers, your D-backs, they all performed tonight.
Yeah, we just got to stay assignment sound, and everyone's doing their job and make sure we go out there and give it our best every time.
Impressive victory. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
All right, great job. Step in here, Lucas. When I talked about the pregame show today, I said you were going to be the key to the game. 6 passes is all you threw last year. You came out, a couple touchdowns early. I know you had some interceptions late, but you shook them off and you finished that second half. What are your thoughts of yourself after the game tonight?
You know, I got to dish out all the love to my teammates. O-lineman had a great pocket. My receivers were making plays. All I had to do was throw the ball to them. I could trust my guys. That's what it comes down to. Trust my O-line to keep that pocket strong and trust my receivers to make the play when it's there.
And for you as a quarterback, what a great opportunity. You got Rosiska. You got a future All-Stater potentially in Conklin, but Man, Caden Kraft, he was your man tonight. You look for him a lot.
That's right. He plays in that slot position, and I can trust him. I can trust the ball in his hands. I know I can go to him. I know he'll catch it, and I know he'll make plays just like all of our other guys.
How big a deal was it last year playing under Jaden Sparrow? Did you get a chance, as you probably ran a lot of, not varsity, you probably a lot of JV stuff. You were the other team's quarterback. How did that prepare you coming into this year?
Right, being the JV quarterback and leading them last year and being underneath Sparrow, I got a lot of practice reps, scout team. But when it got to those varsity game nights, staying locked in, getting my reps when I can, and just learning, just taking it all in and being in part of the team and working my way up to where I am now.
It felt to me like tonight, though, this is your first game, but didn't feel like you had the first game jitters.
Right. Came in here, knew what I had to do, and just went out there, get it done, right? Next play. And that's the big thing. Move on. Next play, next game, take it one step at a time.
You got it done. Impressive victory. Great job.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So we'll give Coach 1 second here, Nick, as he's getting interviewed by somebody else. He'll slip over to us. But what a great job speaking for both these gentlemen. And Lucas Peter, he's a guy, both those two gentlemen, when they're as well-spoken as these two, you can tell that smart, tough, just they got the whole package, and it's Minot. They're going to be a team to be reckoned with, no question.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about that, and the way that interview just went right there with Luke Beater. Let's go back down to you, Chuck, here with Chauncey Hendershot.
Thanks, Nick. Coach Hendershot, what a game. Your team played well on every side of the ball. Special teams, you looked great. Then you bring in a punter, hadn't even punted, and threw 46 yards into the end zone. What's going on?
We got to give Kobe Ehrman a shout-out on that. He punted in fall camp and had a few ducks that went up there, and we gave him another opportunity, and he smashed that thing. So that was great. Good for him. But across the board, team effort here. I think there's a lot we have to clean up, and we'll look at film and do that. But we like the way that these guys prepare and the effort that they give. We got a lot of guys that want to make the play.
And for a quarterback stepping in like Lucas Peter did with little varsity experience, he looked smooth tonight.
Yeah, he executes the plan. Lucas, one of his strengths is his mindset and then his mental understanding of the scheme and what we're trying to do. Thought he threw the ball very well tonight. A beautiful ball to Conklin in the corner. That last touchdown to Caden Kraft was just a well-placed football. When we're in a rhythm too, when we have our running backs going, it helps him out as well.
And when you have a defense that's holding a team under 100 yards, talk about your defense and how they stepped up tonight.
Yeah, and that's how we want to play football. Credit to Coach Rick Fillion, our defensive staff. Great plan week in and week out. We know that our defense is going to be stout, and we make other teams earn everything.
Well, you made her and earn a lot tonight. I was so impressed with you guys tonight. And I just want I was one of the guys who picked you guys early in the season. And I'm sure you're showing me early on that I think you're going to be a team to be reckoned with. Great job, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Great effort there. Great job with the coaches. He looked at you like he knew you, Nick.
Yeah, we go back just a bit, Chuck, without question.
All right, man. Take it to you, and I'll see how quickly I can move my old body upstairs.
You take your time. We'll take one more break here on the Shots Crossroads Planning Team Financial Advisors post-game show here tonight. Thank you, Chuck Claremont. Job well done, as always, on the field. We'll come back with the stats of this ball game. We'll have our move of the game brought to you by Jobbers Moving and Storage. We'll also have our MVP of the broadcast, our selection on the broadcast, the MVP of this ball game tonight, brought to you by Sport Clips. It all happens next after Bonnet High wins 37-0 in the opener over the St. Mary's Saints on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Your business or your home, across the town or across the country, we know it can be stressful. To ensure your possessions arrive on time, intact, and on budget, make your move with Jobbers Moving and Storage. Jobbers can help you with every aspect of your move. With our efficient step-by-step approach to move management, we can tailor a plan to suit your needs and schedule. With locations in Bismarck, Fargo, Minot, and Aberdeen, Jobbers Moving and Storage is your choice. Visit jobberswarehouse.com. It's Jobbers Moving and Storage.
On the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7. Pressure. Point. Yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here?
That's the spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak. Or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
What a beautiful night tonight here in the capital city. It's officially football season. We are officially underway. Welcome back into our Planning Team Financial Advisors at Shots Crossroads postgame show. Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors can help you every step of the way. Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. You can visit us online, planningteam.com. And Shots Crossroads also brings you the post game here tonight. Shots Crossroad, home to the delicious and famous number 99. I like it for the banana cream pie.
Okay,
And
I haven't had that either. When are you inviting us up to Minot to take,
I got to tell you, it's worth the drive coming up there. It's a Shots Crossroads. Everything's good on that menu. You can order online, pick it up at Shots. Team buses are always welcome if you're coming to the Magic City. They bring you the post-game show here tonight. Chuck, what a ball game tonight for the Magi. They came out and certainly impressed here tonight. St. Mary's is no slouch. Yeah, they're maybe not going to be the Cheyenne of the world here this year or the Shanley of the world, but they certainly have some players and some talent. Tonight, Minot High really flexed some muscle, didn't they?
Yeah, they were. That was an impressive victory for Minot High right there, and they're going to be good. That's a good team that they got when you can start from a defensive perspective, that they're extremely strong on the defensive side of the football, which they showed tonight. Now, St. Mary's struggled, brand new offense, new kids. So obviously it'll be a different thing when you take a look at this team against maybe I'm not sure who they play next week. I guess we could surely take a look at it. I'll tell you who they play. They play Legacy next week, so Legacy got thumped tonight. But ultimately, it's a Minot team. I think they had a huge chance of being in the playoffs come end of the year. Now we're already fast forwarding. Let's not do that. We got a lot of games left.
Of course. But a good indicator of what we could see coming up here this year. Was there anything in Minot High's game? I mean, obviously, to me, the amount of penalties is going to be a topic for Chauncey Hendershot, but it's early on in the year. Besides that, was there any Achilles heel tonight that you take out of this ball game for the Magi?
I was listening to him talk to his kids after the game, and he said, hey, maybe a little too many throws. That's my fault. I call the plays all in the first half. I mean, 17 passes when you got – an All-Stater and Rosiska, he only ran the ball 9 times tonight. So, from that perspective, you're probably saying, okay, maybe I should have given him the ball a few more times, and kind of got into that at the end of the first half and forced some things and threw a couple interceptions. And so he said, we'll get that straightened out. But he was very positive with the team at the end of the game. I didn't hear him bring up the penalties. But ultimately, you don't like the penalties. You had 3 of the 15-yarders that The other one's the offsides, the motions, and things like that. So those are things that can be cleaned up. Sometimes you expect that early in the season, and you can get that cleaned up. So that's the least of Minot's. That's all they got tonight. They'll be okay.
Let's turn gears and talk about St. Mary's for a moment. Toby Schweitzer in his first matchup as the new head coach of St. Mary's after the legendary career of Dan Schmeeker. And of course, we're at Schmeeker Field. You know what kind of legacy he leaves. What are the positives in your mind here for St. Mary's that they can take out of it? For me, one of them has to be the battle level. They certainly didn't give up here tonight.
Well, I mean, defensively is the battle to me. When you take a look at how well they played defensively, that when you look at where Minot scored in that second half, they had one score and then a safety. Now, granted, things were changing and going downhill, but ultimately I felt that after they gave up those 28 points that they toughened up. I thought they played a lot better. So, okay, from the defensive side of the ball, I thought there was a lot of positives. You bring in some other kids. I saw at the end of that, Roman Barnes comes over, plays some great minutes on the defensive side. And, of course, you got the kids, the studs that stepped up as you expected them to, the Hank Berries, the John Richters. And Bennett McHugh had a good football game. So I feel like defensively, okay, Toby knows that's usually the side of the football that's usually a little bit advanced from defense or from in terms of offense or defense early on. And there's going to be some more time spent by Bud Etzold on the offensive side, and they're only going to get better.
Yeah, without question. After tonight's ball game, Minot High moves to 1-0. St. Mary's drops to 1-1 to start the campaign. Time to look at how they got to the final score tonight of 37-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Here with the recap of the ball game and the stat lines is Mr. Chuck Claremont.
All right, thanks for St. Mary's. From the offensive perspective, it was pretty dismal. I don't think they had a dozen plays in that second half, so it was almost identical to the first half as Fedorchuk ended up with 7 carries for 3 yards. Marks 4 carries for -5. Vetter had 2 for 3 yards. Aiden Price had 1 for -7. And there was a few guys late in the football game who got in, got a carry here and there. Sam Fedorchuk throwing 3 for 17, 27 yards, had 1 interception. Charles Richter 1 for 6, 28 yards and an interception. So that's the struggle of the St. Mary Saints right there. Ruggles had a couple catches for 19. Aiden Price had 1 for 28. And then Connor had 1 catch for 8 yards. For the Minot Magicians, very balanced on the offensive side. Tyson Rosiska, only 9 carries for 70 yards. He had a 46-yard touchdown run to kind of get things going. Broderick had 5 carries for 23. Small, I liked Jadrian Small. Boy, he just super quick feet. 2 carries, 24 yards. Danielson had a couple carries for 2 yards. Conklin had a carry for 6. Burke had a carry for 10. And then Sean Small had a couple carries for 3 yards, and the quarterback beater had 2 for 5 yards. But the difference to me was the quarterback play. 13 of 20 for Lucas Beater in his varsity debut. 3 touchdowns, 147 yards, couple interceptions. One wasn't his fault necessarily. Hit one of the receiver right in the chest. But great game for him. Cash Danielson was 1 for 2 for 15 yards. And then he talked about his slot friend, Caden Kraft. 7 catches for 53 yards and a great sideline catch for him for that 17-yard touchdown, the only touchdown in the second half. Logan Conklin had 2 for 33 and a 13-yard touchdown. Tyson Rosiska had 1 catch for 11 yards and a touchdown. Kellen Burke had 1 for 16. Noah Bledsoe 1 for 2. Bedell had 1 for 15. Small also had 2 catches for 30. So that's a lot of offense for Minot. And I'll just do some quick numbers. 145 yards rushing, 162 yards passing, so 307 yards on 46 plays. For St. Mary's, -7 yards passing or rushing, 55 yards passing, and just 48 yards. Lots of tackle for losses, 3 or 4 sacks. Dominant performance on both sides of the football for Minot.
Yeah, no question about it. Brings us to our MVP of the ball game here tonight. MVP of the game brought to you by Sport Clips. Sport Clips, where you can get the MVP haircut experience. It's fantastic. You can sign it online at Sport Clips. It's quick, it's convenient. I'm telling you, that's kind of the name of the game in business these days. If it can be convenient for you, kind of like our pregame show sponsor, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, kind of like Sport Clips, where you can sign it online. You get in there, and they make you look real good. I'm telling you, at Sport Clips. The MVP of the game here tonight, Minot High's defense has to be up for that award. They've got to be an honorable mention, don't they?
I mean, the problem is so many guys stepped up defensively. When I was trying to pick a guy, who do you pick? There's so many guys that did well. So the defense, yes, of course, the defense to give him the MVP, but we've got to give it to one guy. And is Tyson Rosiska had the early, he had the interception, the touchdown run, the touchdown catch. But man, my money, Lucas Beater. What a game this kid had in his varsity debut, stepping out. 13 of 20, 3 touchdowns, 147 yards. Great interview, cool as a cucumber. Just, I liked the presence that he has. Big, tall kid, too, man. I was looking him right in the eye. That Minot's got having him behind the helms. I was a little worried that, hey, here's a guy just 6 passes coming into this. But I liked how he said last year, playing JV, helped me out, got me some confidence. So for my money, Lucas Beater is our Sport Clips MVP of the game.
I like your pick tonight. MVP of the game, brought to you by Sport Clips. Again, they'll make you feel like an MVP with the MVP haircut experience at Sport Clips locations in Minot and Bismarck. Check it online with a hairstylist today at sportclips.com. Time for our move of the game tonight. It's brought to you by Jobbers Moving and Storage. How do you like this? You missed it, Chuck. I'll show you one more time. Jobbers delivers it right in on the screen for you.
That's pretty awesome. How many hours was that?
Yeah, it took a few minutes to figure it out, but we finally got her dialed
awesome.
in.
I love it.
Jobbers Moving and Storage locations in Minot, Bismarck, Fargo, and Aberdeen. Whether you're moving across town or across the country, Jobbers can help you with your moving and storage needs. Is there one tonight in your mind that stands off the paper for you?
Absolutely. DJ Jones steps up. Minot's already leading 21-8. First play of the second quarter. He steps in front of a pass intended to, I don't know who was Chuck Richter was throwing it to, but he steps in front of the 40-yard line, and nothing but pay dirt. The big fella goes 40 yards in for the end zone. Defensive touchdown for Minot. So DJ Jones is our Jobbers Moving and Storage. The 40-yard interception return for a TD. Pick 6 for him. Moving and Storage move of the game.
Yeah, I like that pick right there. It was kind of a nail in the coffin, the proverbial, if you will, because it really the momentum turner of the offense for St. Mary's really felt the heat of that one. And DJ Jones takes it to the house. Good pick on the move of the game. Brought to you by Jobbers Moving and Storage. Well, final order of business here tonight would be your final thoughts of this matchup here tonight in week number 1.
Well, from the matchup perspective and all the games we seem to see, there's a lot of blowouts, right? So that we don't have parity yet, let's just say. And some teams definitely stepped up. Minot, I'm impressed. Good football team. St. Mary's, I think they'll get better. I feel confident that between Coach Edsel, when he has more time to work with the kids, they're going to get better offensively, and defensively they're going to have to hold the fort down. And St. Mary's, they'll win a few games this year. They'll be okay. Coach Schweitzer will get them motivated, and they got some athletes out there. You can tell that for sure. And how can you not be impressed with John Richter? I bet you he had 20 tackles. That's not an exaggeration.
I was just going to say,
Hank Berry, John Richter. I mean, that's defensively. They kind of stood out to me.
Without question, kids. I was going to say my big takeaway, kids. If you're watching the ball game tonight, that's how you lose with tact, and that's how you lose and play the game until that final horn sounds. Richter, Fedorchek on the defensive side, Hank Berry. I mean, all those guys
didn't give up.
Certainly showed up. And on the Minot High side, for me, there's more weapons in the chamber than maybe we thought for the Magi, it looked like tonight.
They had a lot of guys running the football, from Broderick to Small to Rosiska. They had thrown it to guys that we didn't even talk about pregame craft. And so they're the real deal.
Next week on the PSP Network, we open up the volleyball schedule. Mandad, that's actually Legacy at Minot. That's 7 o'clock on the 29th. On the 31st, Century is at St. Mary's for high school volleyball. And then next Friday night, we bring you a doubleheader again. It's Legacy at Minot High in football. Century is at Mandad. Couple marquee matchups inside of WDA play next Friday night. Chuck and I will be back in action. However, not together next Friday. I'll be up in the Magic City at Dwayne Carlson Stadium. Chuck in Mandad. Partner, great job tonight. It was a lot of fun working with you again. Haven't done it since the Dakota Bowl last year.
I know, that was awesome. I enjoyed it.
At the Fargo Dome when Velva won their state title. Of course, we did some basketball together, but football's a different beast, especially with your time playing at UND and your time playing the game that we all love so much. You just know a little bit more about it than I do. I think that's the real difference maker between you and I when it comes to football, my friend.
I got a few more plays under my belt than you have.
I think that's fair to say. Final tonight's 37-0. The Magi roll over the St. Mary's Saints. We're going to put a cap on this one. And the post-game show tonight, again, brought to you by Planning Team Financial and Shots Crossroads. We want to thank them. It was a fun night tonight as the opener didn't disappoint for Magi fans. St. Mary's got some work to do, but like Chuck said, the future is brighter than the opener might seem. Here tonight, without question. Big thanks again to Megan Mock for running the camera tonight. Big thank you to Paige Holberg back in the PSP studio tonight, making sure that everything was off without a hitch tonight. We appreciate her. Chuck, we appreciate you for job well done tonight, partner.
That was good.
It was good. Final one more time, 37-0. St. Mary's falls to Minot High on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. For Mr. Chuck Claremont, I'm Nick Holberg signing off until the 29th when the high school volleyball season starts in the Magic City. Please have a great weekend. Be safe. Have a good night. And God bless.
How would you like to turn this into this? With Shots Crossroads Fuel to Food Reward Program, you can. Here's how it works. Pick up a fuel tracker card from any of our C-store cashiers. Every time you fill up with gasoline or diesel, use the fuel tracker card to record your gallons. Once you reach 1,000 gallons, you'll be eligible for a $10 gift card to Shots Crossroads Restaurant. Start earning your rewards today at Shots Crossroads.